Okay, I think we're live. It is 1:23 in the morning. It is 11:30, 2025. So we're pretty much almost done with November here. Um, let's see here. Hold on one second. Let me scroll up to the top. We got Mustang in the chat. Good to see Mustang. Hold on one second here. I'll be back. Okay, good to see you, Mustang. Hope you're well. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. Anytime there's turkey, football, and sleep, it's good. Years ago, it would have been turkey, football, drinking, and then sleep, and then drinking, but that doesn't happen anymore. Paula's here. Good to see Paula. Paula's been doing a lot of lives lately. Awesome to see Paula doing that. Let's see here. Miranda's here. Hey, Miranda, good to see you. Me too. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Always good to see Miranda here. Anthony Francis here. Let's see. Becky is here. Good to see Becky. Critter Mama is here. Good to see Critter Mama. Let's see here. Low Light Recovery is here. Good to see Low Light Recovery here. Good to see a lot of new people. Mino Dino's here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Let's see here. Who else we got here? Elosha's here. Elosa is here. Good to see Elosa. Good to see everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Like I said, hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Gretchen is here. There's Gretchen. Derek Farmer's here. Good to see Derek Farmer. I know that Shibby's having a live here, I think, at the same time. So I hope I'm not butting into his live. Let's see here. Farmer was doing something too. Good to see Farmer safe. I know he's been going through some weather. Charles is here. Shibby's here. There's Shibby right there. Where's Charles? There's Charles right there. Good to see Charles. And Tracy's here too. I think that's Tracy there. Good to see Tracy right here. Let's see here. I know PJ. I don't know if you guys know PJ. I forget what was her channel for, but she has a new channel. I'm going to try to find that and put it in the chat because she I think for some reason her channel got taken down, so I want to pass along that she's got. Let's see here. Let's see here. Everybody knows you do a live every week. It's there, but I do a live. I try to do a live every week. Now I got to remember what her new channel is. I'll try to find it anyways. All right, so tonight we're going to do. Obviously, the True Crime Weekly. We got a cold case update for one of the cases we covered a few weeks ago. And then we're going to do the missing person case of the week. I think I got two of them this week. So let me hold on a second. Good, like I said, it's good to see everybody. Let me play an intro and I'll be back shortly. Hold on a second. Almost didn't make it home after work tonight, pushing snow, bumper dirt roads. Yeah, it's been... we're going to get it this week here at some point, but it's wintertime. So let's see here. It's always that time of the year. It was pretty bad the other night. We had around here anyways. Sometimes this like we get a lot of storms around. There it is right there. Paula got it. Thank you, Paula. Freedom Fighter GG at that's her channel right there. That's PJ's channel. Thank you. All right, so let me play an intro and I'll be right back. Let's see. I think it's this one here. Hold on one second here. I'm glad you put that in the chat because I wanted to do that. But it's good to see everybody. Good to see Miranda too, for sure. Let's see here. I think it's this one right here. Let's play this one. I'll be right back. Okay, so that's the end of that. You got into an accident, Miranda? I hope you're okay. Car's totaled? Oh my God, that's awful. Um, yeah, I don't mind the snow either. It's the other shit. Like the other night we got like a coating and then it melted during the day and then it refroze at night. And that was a freaking nightmare because you can't see that stuff. And I don't care what kind of a vehicle you have. Boston Christian's here. Good to see Boston Christian. Um, if it's ice and black ice, it's just not good. But anyways, enough about me. I hope you're well, Miranda. Good to see you for sure. Also, pretty quickly here, I hope Rick Snae's all right. I hope he's doing okay. I know he hasn't posted a video for a while, but I know he's going through some shit, so I hope he's okay. 8 to 12 inches overnight. Wow, you guys are getting plowed. I have to finish driving home, be back in a bit. It's always good to see Dino in here. Dino's awesome. Just stay safe, buddy. Hope you're well. I don't know. I haven't seen him for a while. So, and then I think it was Dieter last night said to give him a shout out. So that's good there. Low light recovery. I heard from him yesterday. He is doing well and will start streaming soon. That's awesome. Thank you, Low Light Recovery. Got about 10 inches here. Yeah, it's past November, so anything right now, I mean, let the games begin with the snow and all of that stuff here. Like I said, I don't mind the snow. It's the ice and like anytime you get, any type of rain after December around here, it's not good news. I'd rather get snow. But anyways, okay, so what are we going to do first? Let's go here I want to do one thing really quick here. What were we going to do? Let's do this here, since I'm right here, because I just got this. Rick's probation probably told him to stay off of YouTube. That's too funny. That's too funny. Let's see. I like Rick. Rick's cool. All right, so I got this update on this missing person case here. This is, I believe this is Youngstown, Ohio. It was really hard to get information on this here, but because all they got out right now is just a Facebook page from Youngstown Police Department. I think that's Ohio. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's Ohio. And this came out Friday, a couple days ago. It's a bolo for this missing juvenile here. Erilyn Hall has been reported missing. Photos of Hall is available on their website, Youngstown Police Department website here. Officers with Youngstown Police Department in search of a 12-year-old girl, according to Be on the Lookout issuance for a missing juvenile. Erilyn Hall has been reported missing. A photo of Hall is available. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, I had it too. I know I did. But anyways, this is so Hall is described as a 12-year-old standing 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing approximately 140 pounds. She has last known to have been wearing black leggings, a white shirt, and no shoes or socks. So she has no shoes or socks, which is probably not good. Additionally, it is described that her black curly hair was in a ponytail. Hall was last seen in the area of Glenwood Avenue and Indianola Avenue in Youngstown's south side. Let me see if I can go here. Give me 2 seconds. I'll see if I can get image of her. This just came up on my Facebook thing, so hold on a second here. See if I can get a picture of her. Let's go there together. Hold on 1 second here. Seems like there's a couple of people missing. Hold on 1 second here. Anytime I get these, I like to pass them along because right here. So this is I don't think this is her, but this is another one. Youngstown Police Department Bolo. This is 28th. Yana. I don't even want to pronounce that. I'll screw it up. 5 feet. One. This is a different person. 12 years. There it is. This is the one we're doing here. This is an image of Evelyn Hall. Date of birth 11/24. I'll try to let me see if I can. I'll just save that. Of course, I probably already saved that somewhere. But that's her there. Last seen in the area of Glenwood and Indian. I'll try to pull up a map for this in a few minutes here. But 5'4", 140 pounds. That's what she looks like there. So hopefully she's well. But these are the phone numbers to call there. Any information after hours 330-742-8929 and 330-743-9380. That's during the day there. Special units. All right, so get out of that here. I'm going to do this one too here. Hold on a second here. This is the other one here. This is I didn't get this one. This is this girl here. She's approximately 5 feet tall, 130 pounds. Date of birth 1/23/2013. So she's 12 too. This is strange here. 2 people in the last couple of days. Unknown clothing description, possible in the area of Austintown area. Same numbers here that you can call, and that's her picture there. All right, so that's that there. We'll get out of this here. Objection BS22 is here. Good to see you. Let's see here. Big Fishy is here. I'm gonna try to. Shibby's here too. There's Shibby. I'm gonna try to get onto my Discord and go over to your thing and check in over there for Big Fishy because I forgot to do that. See, you got to remind me of these things or I'll forget. All right. All right. What are we going to do next? We'll go. All right, let's do this one here. Since we're right here, we're going to do the search for these 4 kids here. This is going to be, hold on a second here. All right, so let me share this here. All right. Okay, so we're going to go over this here. These are, this is a search for 4 missing children here. We all know who these 4 children are. And this is the latest from our buddy Vinny Politan. He's investigating these cases here. So let's go with this here.
I'm Vinny Politan. The subject of my investigation, missing children who seemingly vanished.
Hey, Fur Baby Daddy's here. Good to see Fur Baby. Good to see you, buddy. Haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you for sure. It's always good to see everybody in here. Hope everybody's well. Good to see some new people in here. Somebody's talking about a Kathy Bates movie. Shibby's been having some great lives. Been over there the last couple of days. Awesome streamer. Need to get in some more subs. Farmer's here too, and feel free to throw your lives in the chat so we can. Sunflower Lola's here. Good to see Sunflower Lola. Wow. Okay. So if you have a channel, feel free to throw them in the chat. I like to promote the creators. We know we got Shibby's in here. Paula's in here. Paula's amazing. Anybody that's got a channel, feel free to throw them in here. Big Fish is awesome too. There we go.
They've never been found, but for many, the search never ends. Here's the story. When a child disappears while last in the care of a parent, the first hours unravel in confusion. Officers arrive, ask questions, retrace steps. But when the story doesn't add up and evidence is thin, the investigation stalls. That's when the community surges forward. Neighbors organize search grids before the sun rises. Strangers print flyers, comb through parks, drive rural.
Also, the good news is Alabama won. So there we go. Shay Watson is here. Good to see Shay Watson. I left you a message telling you everybody is over here. It's awesome. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? That's awesome.
Roads with headlights cutting through the dark. On social media, the child's photo spreads like wildfire, thousands of shares in minutes. True crime creators dissect timelines, zoom in on details, and beg viewers to pay attention. And suddenly, that small local case becomes a national pulse. And when law enforcement hits a wall, the public refuses to let the child fade into.
Too bad every time a channel gets taken down. Anthony France, we waited for this. Okay, enjoy. You have a checkout. Okay, see ya. What was I just going to say?
Silence as the search for that child never ends. This hour, we are focusing on missing children, children who have not been found, children who should be safe at home, but they're not. Some of these children last in the care of their own parents. We're going to go through 4 different cases. Let's bring in Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas, going to help us all night. Cody, let's begin with the first child, Melody Buzzard.
Yeah, Vinny.
What do we know about Melody?
9-year-old girl, Vinny, been missing for more than 40 days since October 10th. Now, of course, we know she comes from a single mother household with her mother, Ashley Buzzard, that we've seen in the news. Her father died when she was a very young age. But her and her mom, Ashley Buzzard.
Yes, I'm about to do. I want to do a. I think my next live is I'm going to try to revisit some of these older cases, especially I want to go back to, and I'm going to get into a little bit of it tonight. I want to go back to the Evansdale case, the Summer Wells case, and then I want to go back to the Jody Huisentruit case too. I do want to go and do an update on those kids. There was a baby that went missing here like 20 years ago. Israel Keys looked at the kid up apparently. Oh, no kidding. Because I'm going to do a little on that tonight. But after this thing here.
Buzzard took off on this multi-day, multi-state trip from California to Nebraska between October 7th and October 10th.
This case right here, this Melody Buzzard case, is straight out of the Bazaar. This is Bazaar case here for sure.
And her mom returned home with no Melody on the 10th. When that rental car, we're looking at pictures right now on the screen. That's little Melody right there. Police believe she was disguised when they were at this rental car agency. They went out on this trip after they rented the car. Ashley returned back without her daughter. And Vinny, this is the kicker of the whole thing. She's not cooperating with police. This is her daughter that's missing and not cooperating with police. Just very bizarre.
Absolutely. And when was...
He doesn't really have to cooperate with him. And the thing is, like, I try to cover as many possible. I mean, this just like, Southern Gal does a really good job too. There's just so many freaking cases out there that it's just like I have a specific amount of cases I want to cover every week, but then I end up getting more. Like tonight, perfect example, like that missing kid case I just went over. These things come up, and it's like you got to try to cover them because if you don't, you forget. And then Luis Cuevas is here. Good to see you. It just sucks. There's so many missing person cases and so many cold cases and so many just, you try to do as much as you can. It's just, there's just too many of them.
The last time that Melody was seen?
Well, Vinny, we know that investigators have told us that they have narrowed down this 24-hour.
It's always good to see Luis Cuevas in here. Thank you, Shibby, for doing that. I know Farmer put Farmer's got a great channel. Shibby's got a great channel. A lot of great content creators in here. I know PJ's really good. And I don't mind promoting good channels here. So that's why everybody pretty much has wrenches. That way they can put their own channels in here.
Our window on the return trips. They were gone from the 7th to the 10th of October. The return trip from Colorado to Lompoc, California. Now we have a map of the possible trip that could have been taken according to investigators. Now we know that investigators say someone saw Ashley in Colorado close to the Utah border. Now we pointed out Grand Junction on the map there, although investigators haven't said exactly where she was spotted, but it's believed that she drove west on I-70, but she may have diverted south at one point onto Route 89, going through some small towns, including Junction, Utah. Not to be confused with Grand Junction, Colorado.
It's hell. I can literally show you the history that I try to cover every week, and it's just I used to live right by Lompton. Where's that at? Yeah, we know Luis Cuevas is a Cowboys fan for sure. We can still be friends though.
Junction, Utah. She then may have gotten back on I-70 and continued on, going through St. George, Utah, Vinny, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, Lompoc, California. Okay, sorry. This is just a strange. I mean, this looks like a diversion to me. I literally just think she dropped the kid off somewhere and just took off. I think she knows exactly where this child is, and I don't think she wants to tell anybody.
And then on into California, but still nothing super exact from investigators as of right now, Vinny.
And when you say they're focusing on the last 24 hours, that would put like October 9th as approximately the last time that she was seen. Okay, what's the current status of this investigation?
So it is, of course, still active. It's still very much so ongoing. We do know Ashley Buzzard, the mother in this case, was arrested on some false imprisonment charges. She's since bailed out under supervision. But Vinny, the man who was accusing her of these of the charges of false imprisonment is a man named Tyler Brewer. He joined News Nation's Bainfield and said,
we played this last week. Remember, we played the interview because she had she secretly recorded the and the judge, I think, threw the whole case out.
Ashley told him where she left Melody. Take a load of this. Take a listen to this.
She ended up going on a road trip at the instructions of individuals that she barely even knows, and I question if she even knows them really at all, in efforts to drop Melody off with them. Apparently some location in Utah. She had said that it was a couple that she met at a zoo, but she doesn't know these people's names, their address, their phone number, their location, nothing. It's bizarre and makes no sense.
Bizarre and makes no sense. That's a perfect way to put it there, Vinny. And also to note, the false imprisonment charges that she was charged with in this arrest have since been dropped. But I reached out to authorities today for an update. I did not get a reply, but their most recent press release does confirm.
Hold on a second here.
You drop Melody off with them. Apparently some location in Utah. She had said that it was a couple that she met at a zoo, but she doesn't know these people's names.
A couple that she met at the zoo?
Names, their address, their phone number, their location, nothing. It's bizarre and makes no sense.
Bizarre and makes no sense. That's a perfect way to put it there, Vinny. And also to note, the false imprisonment charges that she was charged with in this arrest have since been dropped. But I reached out to authorities today for an update. I did not get a reply, but their most recent press release does confirm that this investigation is still, of course, ongoing.
And those statements from Tyler Brewer really, really interesting and all that, because she's not cooperating. This is the only statement we know that she has allegedly made about where Melody is. All right, Cody's going to stick around all night. Let's get to the first question in our investigation. It's the only question that matters, right? Where is Melody Buzzard?
Oh,
Let's bring in our guest here to help us tonight answer this question. Missing persons private investigator Steve Fisher. He's also a search and rescue pilot and ground search technician, along with Tony Bruschi, host of the true crime podcast Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi. Great to have you both here. All right, Steve, first your reaction to this statement that Tyler Brewer says that Melody made, that there was ran into a couple at a zoo, continued some sort of communications, goes on.
why would you leave your child off with somebody at a zoo? That doesn't make any sense.
This wild trip, trying to coordinate when to drop Melody off, because I think the other part of the story is that Melody's having some sort of surgical procedure. So I don't know if this is supposed to be a babysitter situation or something. What are your thoughts about that story?
Well, last time I discussed the case with you, I talked about that maybe there was a situation where Ashley found somebody that is suffering from the same type of mental illness and have the same beliefs about, Melody being taken and won't be given back and whatnot. Maybe she found somebody online and maybe that's what the situation is, because.
So this is October 9th. This was done this was taken October 9th. So that's almost 2 months ago now.
That Tyler also discussed how it was the person who was receiving Melody that was the one that kept changing the pickup locations. And that's why they went to these different states like Nebraska or wherever it was. So, maybe that's what this is. And now you got somebody else with the same mental health issues that's got her and hopefully, she's safe and they just have this warped perception of what's happening, what they think is happening. But
Put it this way, I definitely think this kid is alive. I think this kid is I'm going to say 80%. But I mean, I've been wrong before, for sure.
it isn't really happening.
Right. And Steve, what we're talking about here is like a bizarre scenario, but it would be best case scenario in light of everything that's happened here.
I mean, we literally got to hope that this is the scenario and the thing is Melody probably does not know the difference. This is probably the reality she's grown up in. So this probably is not that bizarre to her, sadly.
Tony, what are your thoughts? Where is Melody Buzzard? Do you think there may be something to this wild story?
Well, I hope the answer to it is that she's not just living in Ashley's head anymore. I hope that there may be this bizarro best case scenario that she met this couple at this zoo and she doesn't know who they are, where they live, any sort of contact information, and dropped her off in Utah with them or wherever state they decided to land onto. But I really fear that may not be the case. And the reason for that also from Tyler Brewer when he was talking to Banfield the other day.
I don't know if she had a phone or not. I know that they got some cell phone pings, but I don't know if she had a phone or not.
They brought up something very, very disturbing, describing a pillow dressed in Melody's clothes, surrounded by photos torn from missing child posters. This is
Hold on a second here. Wait a minute now. Okay.
They are, where they live, any sort of contact information, and dropped her off in Utah with them or wherever state they decided to land onto. But I really fear that may not be the case. And the reason for that also from Tyler Brewer when he was talking to Banfield the other day, brought up something very, very disturbing, describing a pillow dressed in Melody's clothes, surrounded by photos torn from missing child posters. This is the stuff out of a horror movie. Sitting on the couch like a shrine, or a creepy 1980s My Buddy doll dragged in from an abandoned department store, along with Buzzard's expired makeup choices. I'm not quite sure. But the fact of what we're dealing with here, and if that wasn't creepy enough, she then made a comment that compared herself to Casey Anthony, saying, well, at least I'm not out partying. That doesn't give me a lot of high hopes, if you will.
Yeah, if you're comparing yourself.
I think it's possible in this case that I have a feeling that mom is a little bit, what's the word? She's got some sort of mental issue or some sort of mental problem. And I think that she was very suspicious of the mother-in-law wanting to take Melody from her. So I think that she decided to flee with the daughter and leave the daughter with somebody so that the mother-in-law couldn't get custody of Melody here. That's just my assumption. It's just me. I don't know if that's correct or not. I don't know. But to me, that's what this sounds like.
Yourself to someone that's not who you want to compare yourself to. And we also got to hear her in that recording, and I got to hear her speak. And Tony, what was your reaction to that? We played it the other night, and I was shocked at how not completely bonkers she sounded in it, right? And again, I don't know what her baseline is, but she sounded almost normal.
Well, and sometimes the scariest, most dangerous people sound like that. They don't always necessarily sound like what we think of in movies or what we think of as, quote, a crazy person, unquote. They do sound normal. They're able to pass themselves off as normal, as healthy individuals long enough that they're able to keep custody of the child. This is not the first time that she hasn't had Melody in her custody. Other times she's been taken away. This time seems to be very different. But that's the problem with that. As long as they can.
That's the underlying issue here. I think I don't know if you can trust a lot of these YouTubers and stuff with their opinions, but I think she was very seriously in threat of her child being taken from her and then placed with her mother-in-law, and I don't think she wanted that to happen. Now, whether she did something to her or not, I don't know, but I think that's the underlying issue here. She did not want her mother-in-law to have this child. That's just my opinion.
And pass it off. The rules, the laws that exist to protect Ashley from anyone digging further are pretty strict. That's why we're seeing what we're seeing right now, and that she is not behind bars and her child is missing, and there's all these crazy stories surrounding her.
Steve, if you were on the ground right now, where would you go to look?
I'll tell you, there's a part of the trip that really interests me, which is after she goes through Junction, which deviates on the 89. She goes south down.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's possible that she just, the funny thing is I heard some information on the mom, Melody's mom, that she went through this with her mother too. So I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it's possible.
To Panguitch, but then reverses course and goes back up to, I believe, the 20 and cuts back over to the 70. It's the only part of the trip that I see where she actually went somewhere and then reversed course and cut back over to a major interstate. I think something happened in that Panguitch area because she could have kept going straight and taken one of the other small the roads over to the 70, but she reversed course there, and I think that's an interesting little hitch. It's the only one that I see in the trip.
Yeah. Tony, are you confident that investigators would follow up on what Tyler Brewer told them much earlier than telling the world?
I would hope so. There's a lot to unpack there. So it's going to take manpower. It's going to take time. It's going to take resources. The thing that stood out to me was the
The thing is that if I mean, I'm pretty sure that if law enforcement felt like they had, I mean, this isn't a situation where, you know, Melody's 18 and she can take off on her own if she wants. This is a child they're talking about. And in my opinion, if law enforcement had any information at all, this woman here would already be in prison or jail. That this is and they'd let her sitting there until they had some information on it. But I don't think they have any evidence whatsoever that the child is in danger, or they would have arrested the mom already.
Bizarre story about the zoo, that she met these people there, somehow later on got back in contact, and
That's the first I'm hearing about a zoo. I haven't heard about that before.
they were changing their meeting location to all these different spots around the country. Certainly, I would be obviously looking at any of those places along that path, but now the word zoo has entered the equation. I would be getting in contact with any zoo along that path, looking for security cameras, looking for anything that may appear to be Melody taking her daughter to a zoo, because it's probably not as black and white as Ashley is describing it, if in fact they ever met somebody at a zoo to begin with. But I think that might be another point to explore, since that's been thrown into the equation.
Tony Bruschi, Steve Fisher, sticking around. Coming up next, where is Emmanuel Harrow?
My heart dropped because I was like, finally he's found, but then it kind of, the feelings went away after finding.
And every child deserves to be found. Let's get to our next missing child. Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas back with us. Cody, let's talk about Emmanuel Harrow. So young, so.
Remember this case here? They were literally both on camera, lying right to the camera. And I remember that interview. I looked at the father and the mother, and especially when the mother started talking, I just had Susan Smith vibes written all over that. That was the weirdest interview ever, where I got that vibe where she ain't freaking telling the truth, and I knew he wasn't telling the truth at all. So
cute, so vulnerable. What do we know about Emmanuel?
So young, Benny. Only 7 months old, born to his parents there, Jake and Rebecca Harrow. They initially.
Yeah, the father is definitely a piece of dog shit. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't think the girl is alive. I think the mother put her down in an abandoned mine shaft or something. Girl might not be found. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying that's not possible. I just don't think. I don't think that's the case. Abuse, mental health issues, it's all related in families. I agree. Me 2 times tonight. All right, let's.
Told police that video that they were talking in just now. They told police that Emmanuel was abducted during.
It's good to see V in here. Always good to see you, V. Hope you're okay. Hope you're well. I hope Heather's well too. I did see Heather this week though, so that's good news. Hope she's well.
An attack in a parking lot by a man that walked up to Rebecca and just simply said, "Hola."
This freaking kid is just so cute. There's absolutely no reason for this to happen. It's just these people are just absolutely horrible people.
Knocked Rebecca out and then abducted the infant. Take a listen to this.
We come to you guys asking you.
This is the interview right here. There's no way. It's just no way. This guy right here deserves nothing but the worst punishment possible in life. I mean, he's done this before, and there's a reason why he did what he did, because he's going to be out in like 18 years or so. So
Help us find our son. He was abducted last night from Big Five.
You can't fake cry, man. I don't know why people do it all the time. This guy is not crying. He's just he's feeling bad for himself. And this mom here is like, oh, they shouldn't be laughing. This is such a horrible case, but these people are not fooling anybody.
So somebody struck my wife while she was trying to change his diaper. And we just ask if anybody knows anything to please contact the Kaipa Police Department.
Don't hesitate, just call.
His name's Emmanuel. He's 7 months. He's 7 months old.
So, Vinny, we now know that was a lie. We know that prosecutors believe that baby Emmanuel is now deceased, probably likely due to repeated abuse by his parents. And again, how do we know that's a lie? Because as you mentioned, Jake Harrow eventually pled guilty to murdering his 7-month-old son and is currently now serving a 25 to life sentence behind bars for that crime.
Let's get into the timeline a little bit. When was Emmanuel Harrow last seen?
He was last seen August of 2025, Vinny. That's when they say, well, the false accusation that they were attacked in the parking lot. Now, there have been multiple searches carried out by police. They even had a search here. You see it on your screen. They had Jake Harrow out there one day, obviously to no avail.
It's a good thing some people are stupid because, you know, they come up with these situations where they tell these things to law enforcement. And, you know, it's one thing if it's an intelligent person coming up with these scenarios, right? But the good news is it's usually stupid people and they don't think things through. And if you go through the timeline of this thing and what she was saying, there's no way she could have been punched in the face at that angle when she was inside the car changing the diaper. It's just impossible. You know, just so it's good that some of these people are just really stupid.
Now they're still searching for the child's remains, but since August of 2025, Vinny, a few months, still have not found the remains of this baby, even though
it's good to see you. Love and light for all. Always good to see you in here. Ignorant people think everybody is on their level. Yes. Look, if you're gonna fake cry, you better be a good actor because it's, you know, fake crying. You know, I've seen, you know, interrogations where this person is in there fake crying and there's no tears coming, and they literally save the tissues because they test them for any type of tearing. It's just you got to be a really good actor for that. If you can't do it, just don't.
No, Jake Harrow has pled guilty to the murder, is behind bars, has not spoken to police or told them anything about where the remains may be.
And the status of that investigation, that search?
So, of course, you know, they're still searching for the remains. Jake behind bars. Rebecca Harrow still sticking to her not guilty plea. She's trying to take this to trial. She has a court date coming up January of 2026. Now, I reached out to
You know why? Because she's just not intelligent. She just doesn't have, you know, she doesn't have, you know, it's just my opinion. She just doesn't have the intelligence to just, you know, but she can't do anything right now because he already got his, you know, they'll be lucky if he does 18 years. Where she's going to take this all the way up to trial and then plea. That way she can get the lesser charge probably.
To authorities today. They referred me to their most recent press release from early November, again, just stating that those remains still have yet to be found. The search is still ongoing.
It's Latoya. Good to see Latoya in here. Always good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're well for sure. Yeah, it seems like, I mean, that's the way to get away with it. I mean, look at the freaking some of these cases, the DP cases, they just wait and wait and wait. And then they know the prosecution is going to cave. So that's what they do. You know, they still haven't found this kid's body. So that may be, you know, a bartering plea. You know, we'll tell you where it is. You just lessen the charges and we'll give you up the, I mean, it's easy to do, right? These people are not, they have no empathy whatsoever, right? So they could care. They're only looking out for themselves right now at this point.
All right, thanks, Cody. Let's get to the next question in our investigation, which is, where is Emmanuel Harrow? That beautiful.
You're upset, Latoya? Why? Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, this kid is super cute.
little boy. Still with us to help with our investigation, missing persons, private investigator Steve Fisher, along with podcaster Tony Bruschi. What are your
Well, at least it's not GH, right? Oh,
thoughts here, Steve, about where Emmanuel Harrow is? Like, there's this huge search. Jake Harrow is there. I've got to believe that.
Amy's here. Amy G is here. It's good to see Amy G. Also known as Tracy, who's awesome. Where'd you go? Right there. Daisy asks. No, it's Daisy. Why do I keep saying Tracy? It's Daisy. She's got a great channel. I get over there whenever I can. And sometimes at least just to leave a like and share. She's got a great channel. Very informative. She's just amazing. My nursing home stealing my drink out of my room. Oh my God. Can't have that. What kind of a drink is it? Anyways, it's good to see Daisy in here. She's awesome. I think she's got 1,000 subscribers now. I'm pretty sure anyways. So congratulations to that.
That they were searching that area for a reason. I don't know the reason, but what are your thoughts?
Oh, I hate those two parents so much.
Same
You
here.
know, it's a tough one. I'll tell you, I
I hate these parents too. I'd be the first person to tell you that. I have absolutely no respect for anybody that harms children at all, period. So I hope they get the worst possible punishment, but he's already played out. He's already pled out. So he's not, he's going to get, he's done this before. This is why he did it. The father anyways, the mother, we'll see what happens with her, but they're both, just despicable people.
I searched for Emmanuel in the early days, and I don't know why Jake brought them out there. I wish there was more clarity on that. I've heard.
Powerade Diet Coke. Oh, okay. I thought it was like a martini or something. That sucks though. That's terrible. Maybe we can do a investigation into who stole your drink there.
Through search and rescue circles that they believe that he's in a landfill, and you know what? I don't care if he's in a landfill. There needs to be, and there should have been a large effort put in, even if the chances were 1% of finding him. This is 7-month-old that was neglected his entire life, and we owed that to him. And I'll say I'm really disappointed in my fellow, search and rescue teams. I know that they don't have the ability to self-deploy and call out, but there needed to be a bigger effort than there has been. There was this search, and there was one other small search, and the landfill should have been searched. They should have.
I'm giving a lecture on the history of our town to the staff and residents in December. That's awesome, buddy. You gonna film that? Be awesome to see that. Maybe I'll go and throw grapes at you. Just kidding. I don't have any money to get another one. Oh my God. Oh my God, that sucks.
Should have been shut down. Warrants should have been issued, like we've seen in so many other cases, but they weren't, and because they got Jake to plead, and they seemed way more interested in that than they did finding Emmanuel, and that's not what the people wanted. This was the people, the state of California versus Jake and Rebecca, and this is not what the people wanted. The people want Emmanuel, and they want them in prison.
Absolutely. So well said. Tony Bruschi, your thoughts here, because we've seen cases like Quentin Simon down in Georgia. They went to that land.
Remember him, Quentin Simon? We just did that a few weeks ago with him, Quentin Simon.
And they were able to make a recovery there. I mean, it can be done. It's a matter of putting the resources and making the effort. What are your thoughts?
It truly is. The scary part is time is not on any one side, and there's a lot of time that has passed now. So whether he ended up in that landfill or somewhere in the desert, time not playing well for the odds of finding the remains of Emmanuel at this point. But I think really, where is he? He's a bargaining chip. That's what he is right now. Jake took his plea, admitted to killing his own baby, still refused to say where Emmanuel.
That's what I think. A kid is at this point, unfortunately, just a bargaining chip for her. And they know that, you know, the public outcry, the prosecution will just take the plea for sure.
Emmanuel is. That tells you he thinks he couldn't really get anything for admitting where he was. But Rebecca, and I'm wondering if there was some behind the scenes agreement between the two. She's still waiting for that trial. And let's be honest, the only leverage she has left is Emmanuel's location. Nothing else in her story holds up, not the timeline, not the attack, not the interviews that she's walked out of. So it looks like she's keeping the truth in her back pocket as a bargaining chip. So
I don't know about that. I mean, you never know with a jury. And he already pled guilty. So, you know, if I was the defense team, I'd go after him. But what she said and how she kind of choreographed this whole abduction thing, that's going to come to haunt her. But I don't know.
I think metaphorically, that's where baby Emmanuel lives today.
Yeah, and I think the only thing you could save Rebecca is if everything gets put onto Jake.
You want a channel? Do you want a wrench, Latoya? Can I get a channel? Oh, you can get anything you want, Latoya, for sure. Sorry to hear about your drink. That's terrible. Someone stole my dad's hoodie and sweatpants, brand new. I guess they probably needed them. Yeah, that's terrible. It just sucks. People can't even be decent, you know. Just that's terrible.
Jake somehow, Steve, and I think the only way a jury would be convinced, potentially, and they may not be convinced by it, is if Jake Harrow himself comes into court and says, yeah, I beat her up, and I beat the baby up, and I'm the one responsible for all of this. I think that's the only way she has a shot here.
I kind of have a different view than a lot of people. I think that this might have actually been more at the hands of her than him because
Wow.
They filed an amended complaint on Jake and reduced it to second degree, and she's still charged with first degree murder. And they're so far I haven't seen any offer.
No, he was smart. He I was watching a lawyer. This was a few weeks ago now, maybe even a month or so ago, and the lawyer that was I forget what it was, but he did this on purpose. He pled on purpose so that he could get a lower, you know, instead of first degree, a second degree, and the plea did it. So that's what comes with it. I think he got 25 years, but he'll be lucky. They'll be lucky if he does 18. He did this on purpose. He had a good strategy here. He's a piece of shit because he's done this before.
Of a deal, but you know, listen, they know, you know, they got to give this up. I mean, you know, I do believe Jake knows. You know, in the
Have a good night, low light recovery. Always good to see you in here. All right, back to work. You have a great evening. Thanks, Al, for streaming. Oh, you're welcome. It's always good to see you in here. Okay, I'll get you a wrench, Latoya. Hold on one second. Here we go. Sorry.
The thing is, I believe that the prosecutors know too. They said in the initial press conference, we have a very good idea where we think Emmanuel is. And I think that that's the landfill. I think even if it's symbolic, there should have been a massive effort for the 7-year-old. And I'm disappointed in that. But I do think there's something going on because Rebecca's charges are a higher degree than Jake's.
Yeah, that's so true. Tony Bruschi, great to see you. Thank you so much. Steve's going to stick around. Still to come. Where is Summer Wells?
Okay, so I think I just gave Latoya a wrench. Let me know if that worked.
Nothing changes. Police admit they need help. No witnesses, no clear direction, and a parent's inconsistent account. The community doesn't wait. Volunteers gather at churches and school gyms, signing maps, checking terrain, forming search teams. Mothers who never met the family bake food for the searchers. Teenagers live stream updates.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea. Because I know there's a lot of people. Oh, you're welcome, Latoya. A lot of people who go missing from nursing homes for sure. Good to see Alosha here. Like I said, you're welcome, Latoya.
Pushing the story beyond the town limits. Podcasters pick it up within hours, analyzing the last known moments, urging listeners to look, to share, to refuse complacency. Within a day, millions online know the child's name. Every drone launched, every TikTok viewed, every tip phoned in becomes part of a collective promise. We will not stop looking.
These poor kids, man.
We will not let this child be forgotten. All hour, we've been taking a look at missing children, and we continue that with the next child. Let's bring back in Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas. Let's talk about one that touched the hearts of a lot.
Hey, it's Hiawatha's here. Good to see Hiawatha. Always good to see you. The cases with the babies just hurt my heart. Me too. It's hell. It literally is. It's the reason why I'm doing true crime, to be honest with you. Kids, anybody that can't defend themselves, kids, domestic abuse, stuff like that. Okay, there was a question up here. Like I said, it's good to see Hiawatha. Always good to see you here. Do people still need 1,000 subs to stream? I don't think so. I don't think so. You can stream whenever you want. You don't need any subscribers, I don't think. But it's good to see Hiawatha in here. Oh, there's Derek Farmer right there. Okay, so 50 to stream, 500 for super stickers, 1,000 to charge for memberships. Are you starting a channel? Do you have a channel? You have a channel already, don't you, Fee? I need 50 subs to go live. Why do you need 50 subs to go live? Oh, I wanted to, Brian P. knows. Now I know where I've seen him before. Brian P. knows is awesome too. But he's always over there on Manimal's channel. Wake up, little brother. Oh, okay. You need 50 subs to go live? What's up? Okay, let me go back to this. Yeah, StreamYard, I don't think you need anything. Charles got a good channel too. Charles is awesome, especially on this SKR stuff.
A lot of people, and it's a mystery that seems like it should have been solved years ago. Summer Wells. What do we know about this?
This poor freaking kid. This is that's why I'm gonna try to. It's either gonna be next week or the week after that. Maybe for like a New Year's type thing. I want to revisit some of the older cases. I know I want to do Evansdale, the Summer Wells case, some of the stuff that I haven't really done in a long time. But that's kind of like a programming note. I'll let everybody know about that.
This young girl.
Well, Vinny, just 5 years old, up in Tennessee, went missing in her own home. Now, they say that she was outside helping her mom and grandma in the garden, helping them plant flowers. She got done with that, wanted to go back inside and play with toys. Mom and grandma came in. Summer was nowhere to be found, which is just scary to even think about something like that. But Vinny, we've constructed a timeline of from June 15th of 2021 to June 14th of 2024. Now, June 15th is when she was reported missing. So we can walk through that timeline here right now. June 15th, Summer Wells was reported missing around 6:30 p.m. Last seen outside.
You don't really need any other people on your stream than Mr. Steve. If you got Mr. Steve, that's like 1,000 subs right there. That's I don't have Restream Mustang. You don't need StreamYard. There's another one too. There's one. What the hell is the name of that other one? I was using that One Stream or whatever it is. I was using that for a while. They're not the same, but they're okay too. I think it's One Stream Media or something like that. Yeah, Fur Baby's awesome too. I don't know what happened with Steve. Steve, and now that Derek said something, I'm glad to see that he's still around. I haven't seen a live from Mr. Steve in a while. Mr. Steve is arguably the greatest person on this planet. Him and Mrs. Steve, they're great people. One of these days, I'm hoping to meet up with him, hopefully in North Carolina at a Waffle House or something like that, so we can go check out the Trenny Gibson case over there in North Carolina. But no, he's awesome. Mr. Steve is awesome. I got to do this again too. This whole Summer Wells case, this is just sucks.
Her home. June 17th, 2021. The search expands to cover a 1 mile radius surrounding Summer's home. June 26th, 2021. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation looks for a red Toyota pickup seen in an area near where Summer disappeared. July 26, 2021, a month later, Summer's brothers are removed from the home by the Department of Children's Services. October 31st, 2021, Don Wells, that is Summer's father, he's arrested for driving under the influence. February 4th, 2022, Summer's 6th birthday. February 4th, 2023, Summer's 7th birthday. June 14th, 2023, the TBI releases these age-progressed photos of Summer Wells, what she would look like at the current time. February 4th, 2024, Summer's 8th birthday, and June 14th, 2024, the TBI releases a video.
Kind of doing it tonight, though. This is kind of the latest on this here.
Video update in Summer Wells' case, but Vinny, to no avail, there is still no sign of this.
Tennessee sucks too. There's a lot of cases over there in Tennessee too.
This baby girl, of her remains, or anywhere of her whereabouts.
So we talk about location. I know a big part of the story was the home. That's the place where she was.
Yeah, Fur Baby Daddy's awesome. There's his channel right there. Thank you, V. Appreciate that. I'm pretty sure I'm subbed over there. No problem, promoting good channels here. There's a lot of great creators in here right now. There's Derek's here. We got Fur Baby Daddy. We got Charles is in here somewhere. Mustang's in here. Mustang does good work too. A lot of great channels in here. So anyway, I can get people more spotlight. That's awesome. Shibby's in here too. Shibby's awesome.
Was last seen. What do we know about the home?
So Vinny, last seen June 15th, 2021, and a friend of the network, Chris McDonough, who we've had on the program several times, actually did a walkthrough in the home alongside Summer's mother. Take a look at this.
Them three were sitting right here in front with their eyes glued to the TV, like always. And I said, boys, where's your sister at? Well, she just went downstairs and on the play. So I went over here like this, because this is where the stairs are.
Okay.
It's actually down under there.
Oh, down into her
Down into
bedroom.
our bedroom, and then hers is on the other side.
Oh, okay, in the basement.
Yeah, in the basement.
Well, this makes sense now, see?
And then I yelled and I said, Summer, Summer. And she didn't, I listened for a minute, I didn't hear nothing. So I went like this. This is how I would get down here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to come down here or not.
Do I got to be tiny to get in there?
No, you should go.
Happy birthday, Paula. I didn't know it was your birthday. I think the new FBI is taking missing children very seriously. Jensen? Michelle Walks is awesome too. Is that the same Michelle I'm thinking about? From England? She's amazing too. Shibby is my neighbor over the border. He's the only neighbor. Not accepting new subs at the moment. That's too funny. Farmer is my Michigan neighbor. Farmer's amazing. Farmer's awesome. Farmer really does a good job. Yes, Dave. Yes, same Michelle. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it was ridiculous. This is Gray Hughes calls him Chris McTummy.
We could come in from the other side.
Well, we can, but it'd make more sense if you went this way.
Okay, I'll follow you. Oh man, good grief,
No,
girl.
my 6-foot husband,
Is that Gopher?
you can fit down here. You can. My husband's 6 foot. I know if he can fit, you can.
This. Oh my gosh. Way to go.
This is my husband's room.
Okay,
And over here, well, it's a mess again.
that's all right.
But this is where Summer and little Waylon was, because Waylon's only 9,
Okay.
and they stayed down here. And these are all her toys, all her Paw Patrol. I searched. I looked up underneath the beds.
I got to come up with some sort of a birthday song for birthdays because I don't have anything like that. I should. Let's put that on the list here. Birthday song for birthdays in the chat. Something that's not too corny, right?
Under there, we can't really get on. I can't get under there.
Yeah.
But I looked under there, looked under every blanket I could possibly look under.
Yep.
And then I come over here and I looked on both sides.
I'm telling you, man, the way people treat children sometimes, and a lot of times it's not nefarious. It's just, it just happens to be I just can't deal with. That's just that would never happen in my house, man.
That's the other work. And I don't recall if this was locked or not. I don't recall that.
Okay.
But I know, it's hard on me. But I know I did come out there and I said, Summer, because sometimes she'll sit right here and just sit here and play just for, And usually when she comes out and she goes directly that way up to the swing.
Oh, okay. So this is like her.
Yeah, she
Where
just
she
walks.
come running out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can see the path
Just go
here.
right to the swing.
Right, you can see where she could have run.
So Vinny, that gives us a little insight into the structure of the home. And actually there towards the end, we see that it's kind of a rural area. There's plenty of woods out there. They are still unsure whether Summer wandered off, whether someone abducted her, but that gives us a little sneak peek into what the area may or actually did look like.
Yeah, and she goes into the house, there's a way to get out of the house without people in the front seeing her. Now, what's the current status of the investigation?
Well, Vinny, police say they are still fervently following leads. This investigation, this search is still ongoing, really as recent as a few weeks ago. And Vinny, we also have pictures. I mentioned those age-progressed pictures released by the TBI. This is what they created here. Of course, that's a real picture of Summer on the.
So this is the age progression here. I think I have that somewhere. What a poor kid. It's awful.
Left, but on the right is what she may look like now. She'd be around 9 years old, 8 to 9 years old. Just for anyone who may have seen her, may know where she is, where her whereabouts are. This is what the point of putting this picture out was.
Tracy's here. It's good to see Tracy in the chat. Tracy's amazing. That's quad axle Mimi right there. I hope you're doing okay, Tracy. It's always good to have Tracy here. She's arguably the smartest person I know. If you have a question, just ask Tracy. She'll probably know what it is. I don't know who expected. So I'm going to go over these cases again. It's possible it's the parents. It's possible. I don't know though.
Was because no one's seen her in 4 years. This is just what she may look like. But again, police are still very, very much so involved in the search, involved in the investigation to figure out where she may be.
All right. Thanks so much, Cody. Brings us to the next question in our investigation about this young girl. Where is Summer Wells? Let's bring in our guest here to help answer the question. You know who we're bringing in, right? Former homicide detective Chris McDonough, who walked through that house, spent a lot of time on the story. He's
Hey.
also the host of The Interview Room with Chris
It's Pascal. Oh,
McDonough. Been investigating this case for years. And also joining us, Pascal, the host of The Pascal Show, has also been following this story as well. All right, Chris, I'll begin with you. What are your thoughts about where is Summer Wells?
You know, Vinny, that is the $1 million question, right? However, statistically, if we go by what we call the victim risk continuum, everything points towards a very low risk victim here, meaning the last time she was seen was by her mother being escorted into the house. And then, of course, she just vanishes. And it was interesting when I did go into that house and you see it there, that is not necessarily, you know, they call it a bedroom, but I got to be honest with you, Vinny, that's a dungeon. And I had a really hard time believing that a 5-year-old little girl just arbitrarily would go down there to play. And the most interesting thing that jumped out at me almost immediately is Mom has told various different stories. One, that the door was locked. Both the parents have said that. And then in this particular video, she made it a point to point out.
I mean, I don't like to pass judgment on people and how they live because I've seen, you know what I mean? I've seen cases where the parents are, you know, not like this, where there's, you know, no clutter anywhere, where they're squeaky clean and stuff like that. And they, you know, they sometimes do stuff too. So I don't like to pass judgment on just how people live, because it sometimes looks worse than it is. I mean, some people are just hoarders, man. My OCD would never allow that. Like I'm not the cleanest person in the world, but I wouldn't be able to live like this here. But some people, you know, some people do. That doesn't make them bad people. It's just, so I don't know. In this case here, the Summer Wells case, I'm still kind of on the fence about that. But like I said, I want to go over these cases again and try to, you know.
To me, that the door was open, which gave now an opportunity for various types.
Duncan Felonies is here. Good to see you for sure. I'm pretty sure I subscribed to your channel. Yeah, I mean, it could be anybody. I mean, these whodunit cases, it could be anybody. Usually it's somebody really close, though. That guy has had a stroke or something. Who? I hate... They've been looking at a property 10 miles away. I started my channel because of Summer's case. I researched it. Her parents didn't do anything. They're just poor and country. Yeah, I mean, I've seen cases where the people are squeaky clean. They, and you know, just because people live a certain way doesn't necessarily make them bad people. I hate that fake broadcaster inflection. That guy has had a stroke or something. Obviously, you can't rule it out, but I agree. All they live in the hollows of Tennessee. Yeah, I mean, my wife's a teacher, so she sees, you know, she sees a lot of shit. You know how kids live and stuff like that. You know, you can't pass judgment. It's just that's the way people live. I mean, like I said, I mean, look at Rex Human's house, right? The place was a freaking disaster. But you know, some people just are horse. Some people live like that. There's, you know, doesn't make them bad people. It's just that's the way people live. That's just my opinion.
Of scenarios.
Yeah. Pascal, your thoughts on this story, which is baffling, right? It seems like this is one that should have been solved at some point, but it hasn't. It's still lingering.
Yeah, this is a very interesting case. I mean, obviously, we're just seeing honestly nothing except for just theories, possibilities, but it just bothers me, like what just Chris just said a second ago, how easily someone could run out through the back, go through that door in the basement or through that house.
Exactly. I bet they mostly go in and out throughout the downstairs door. I mean, back in the day, you know, things have changed quite a bit, like in the last 50 years or so. People, you know, especially around here, like New England's a perfect example. Like some of these homes that were built basically in the early 1900s and stuff like that, they've been added on to because families back in the 40s and 30s and 20s, they lived in small houses, man. You'd be surprised that people lived in very, very small homes. And then as, you know, time changed, now these homes keep getting bigger and bigger. So rooms and you know, I've heard people live, you know, five people in one house, one room. I mean, that wasn't extraordinary back then. That was just the way people lived. Nowadays, homes are so freaking big. There's so much space. So things have changed, but sometimes that's how people live. You know, it's just the way it is.
House or through the bedroom and easily have access to her or anybody else that may have been in that basement. So yeah, there's just so many questions that haven't been answered. And honestly, the more questions we got, the more speculations get out here. It'd be nice to hear something from local law enforcement so we can get some idea of where they're getting to, you know, if they're even getting closer to bringing her home.
Yeah, and the thing about these stories, Pascal, is that the public wanting answers and wanting information, it doesn't really wane, right? It's like, I understand cases can go cold, trails can go cold, but people don't forget. And this is one of those stories where no one has forgotten Summer Wells.
No, they don't. And what's so sad about this is Idle Minds is like the conspirators' plaything, is what I'd like to say. It only leaves more and more conspiracies out there, more and more rumors, more and more speculations, and not a whole lot of facts, especially when we don't have enough out here.
This sucks. This poor kid. You know, it's just,
Obviously, we all want to know where she is, but it'd be nice to get a few more, just a little bit more information from local PD, just some more facts.
And Chris, how about the family these days? Are they keeping a much lower profile than they did initially? Because I know you spent time there. You spoke with everyone.
Yeah,
that's my opinion. I think it's somebody close to the investigation. I just don't think it's necessarily the parents themselves. I think it may be like a friend, or, you know, I wouldn't even be surprised if like an uncle or a, you know, somebody close, you know, that's been there before.
No, in fact, I talked to the family today, Don's sister, actually, and she told me that Don and Candace have both gone underground, that they've even been trying to get hold of him. TBI's even been trying to get hold of him, and she told me that
it's Free Peaches here. Good to see you. It's so good to see a lot of people in here tonight. That's awesome. And I know you don't come in here for me, that's for sure. Who had surgery? Latoya had surgery. Oh my God. Hope you're okay. Why were the other children removed from their care? I don't know. I mean, but I mean, if that's the one thing that'll get kids taken away pretty quickly from by DCYF if they go into a house like that and they see that house like that. I don't know. I just
been a difficult task. So why that's occurring, I don't have that answer. But you know, the fact that if this was a stranger abduction, Vinny, you know,
I love Tennessee. I've been to Tennessee. I've been to Memphis. Memphis years and years ago was basically the rock and roll capital of the world, and it was a beautiful city. I haven't been there since the 80s. But there's parts of Tennessee. I love Tennessee. Tennessee, Western North Carolina. People down there are so, like, if you don't mess with them, they won't mess with you. They're just great people. Lot of heritage there, a lot of history. It's great place, but there's crazy people everywhere. I mean, just you don't have to go to the middle of Tennessee to meet crazy people. There's crazy people right across the street from me here. It's like I'm crazy. Oh, so I don't judge people by the way they live. It's it may look bad to some people, but sometimes that's just how people live. It's not good, not right, but it's not terrible either. Not saying they didn't do it. I'm just saying, I mean, I just don't judge that on that.
And Pascal would know, obviously, is the feds would be heavily involved in this right away, the CARB team, which they were, but then they left. And if this is any indication of something else going on, that means she's not moving across the state lines.
That's a good 2 days after she disappeared, a little girl was sleeping in a hammock not far from there. A predatory bear attacked her. I mean, those things happen too. People don't they're rare, but they do happen too. You coming here for me, Dave, in the hall. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Charles said he thought it was you. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Like I said, it was the food is always good. Football's even better, and sleep is the best, right? Like I can sleep, and like it's the only time of the year I get blueberry pie. So, all right, so let's go here.
Or anything like that, because that's when they really jump into this and they weigh in the resources. But most recently there was a search, about 0.8 of a mile or 9 miles away from her house, and the evidence team was there, not the card team. So that.
Yeah, what's going on with the Lions? I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. I picked what did I pick? The beginning of the year, I picked Kansas City and the Lions, and both teams suck. I don't know what's going on. Yours was awesome, Dave. Okay, that's awesome. I hope you're okay, Latoya. Sorry, you had surgery involving for fungus and hairbrush. Yes, blueberry pie is especially the good stuff. Not. I love blueberry pie, and so I get it once a year, and it's usually for Thanksgiving. But I eat enough of it for a year, pretty much.
That may also lean us into, something else going on here. Somebody had to have access to that
squirrel
property.
pie.
This kid just didn't disappear from that basement randomly.
Squirrel pie. I think I'm gonna pass. I know that they'll hunt anything in Florida and Texas. Like they'll eat anything, you name it. Armadillo, snake, anything. Even if the Lions are undefeated regularly, ask a Michigan Gardner. Never pick the Lions. Right. I thought they had a pretty good chance this year, though. Really did, but apparently not. Watch out for the Bears.
By a stranger.
All right. We're going to stay on that story. Obviously, anything develops. Pascal, thanks so much. Great to see you. Have a great Thanksgiving. Make sure you check out the Pascal Show on YouTube. It's amazing. Coming up next, where is Sebastian Rogers?
All right. I wanted to get to this case, too, because that's the other case that I want to try to relive here at some point. So here we go. This is the Sebastian Rogers. And then we'll get out of this. We'll move on to something else.
They don't let me know anything. I'm in law enforcement myself, so I've got to trust the procedure.
Whoops.
That's Seth Rogers, Sebastian Rogers' father, who appeared here on Court TV with me talking.
It must have been a blueberry pie thing. Hi, Heather. How are you? Good to see you. Apple pie? I mean, I don't mind apple pie, but put it this way, if there's apple pie and then blueberry pie, I'm taking the blueberry pie 100% of the times. How come you're not sleeping? My better half is in here. It's Heather Weir. That's my better half. Much better half. You don't have his channel, Dave? Whose channel? Or just shave it off later. I have no idea what's going on in here. Sweet dude, Chibi, do you remove the squirrel fur first? No. By any chance, is the father a Bills fan? Probably not. Pecan pie. Pumpkin pie is disgusting too. All right. No peach or pumpkin. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had peach pie, to be honest with you.
Talking about his missing son and working with law enforcement in that case. Let's bring back in Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas. Cody, let's talk about Sebastian Rogers. What do we know about Sebastian?
Well, Vinny, he's a teen with autism who went missing from his mother.
This case here, I know that, what is it? Chris does a really good job on this case here. Chris from the Mob Crew, I think that's his channel. And then there's a lot of other people that are following this case incessantly here, but this is a terrible case here. In my opinion, this case here to me seems like has bullying written all over it.
Mother's home in February of 2024. Now, his mother said they went to bed normally that night. Everything was simple. Everything was normal. They went to bed. She woke up to wake him up to go to school the next morning around 6 a.m. There was no sign of Sebastian. Now, of course, like we just watched, his father joined us here on the network saying that he doesn't believe his son would just up and leave. Take a listen.
It doesn't seem like my son at all.
Where's everybody getting all of this snow? You guys can have it. You guys can keep it. Yeah, I didn't think you were rhubarb pie. Hold on a second. Let me speak properly. Rhubarb pie is awesome. Rhubarb is awesome in itself. Although I think I may be too old for rhubarb pie at this point. Pecan pie is okay. Cheesecake is the best. Cheesecake is strawberry rhubarb. Yeah, for sure. There you go. There's a reason why we're together. Strawberry rhubarb right there. You grew your own rhubarb? How do you grow rhubarb? I thought it just grows. Peach pie. There's another pie that I don't mind. Maybe it's pecan pie. All right, here we go. We had it at our old house. I remember that. We have it. I thought we had it here too. No. When I was a kid, rhubarb was everywhere. The word pie gets chat excited. Should be. Oh.
He would never leave my house in the middle of the night barefoot, and if he did, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. You know, we've left in the middle of the night. There's been times that we've gone fishing in the middle of the night. You know, we plan that sort of stuff. But him walking out the door in the middle of the night, no, it's not something he would do. It's something he's never done on me.
Now, Vinny, Sebastian's mother also spoke about this situation on the Chronicles of Olivia YouTube channel. Take a listen to what she had to say.
He said, all right, good night, Mama. Good night, puppies. Love you. And went to bed. He was doing something in his room because about an hour later I heard some noise and I was like, I don't care what you're doing in there, but go to sleep. And about midnight, I got up and I went to bed.
30 minutes you talked about pie. Wow, somebody was hungry. I'm not a big pie guy anyway. I was just about to say Chinese pie. It's a blueberry pie is my favorite for sure. Like if it's if there was all these pies on the table, I'd go for the blueberry pie for sure. Especially like real blueberry pie. It's Brian Pino's. I knew. See, here we go. I knew I've seen you somewhere, buddy. I just knew I've seen you somewhere. And last night I figured it out. You're the guy that's on Manimal all the time. So that's good news because I was on Manimal last night and I saw you on there. So Brian Pino's got a channel too. Brian Pino's is awesome. And he's usually on with Manimal too. Manimal Crime. And he's usually a regular over there. So, but I knew I had seen you before. All right, so here we go.
And 6 o'clock, I went to wake him up for school Monday morning. And that's when he wasn't here.
And Vinny, just a sad, tragic situation overall, just because.
I think it's possible that this kid here was lured out of his house by friends or, not so much friends. And then something happened after that. I think that's a possibility. Maybe from bullying or something like that. But there's Brian Pino's right there. Got a great channel. He's got 823 subs. That's awesome. Need to get him to 1,000. But Manimal is good too. I used to be over there on Manimal's channel all the time because Sean B is the one that hit it off because I'm like, why is Sean B over on Brian Pino's channel? Then I saw you Manimal. And I was like, that's why. My mom used to make cinnamon things with leftover pie crust. She brushed it with nutter sprinkle. Oh, that sounds really good. Oh, that's really good right there. Food is just important. It is. 1K by 2026. That'll work. Butternut nutter. Peach cobbler's good.
Because it's so unclear. You go to bed one night and then a couple hours later you wake up and your son's not there. You can only imagine how that must feel.
Okay, so when was the last time that Sebastian Rogers was seen?
Well, he was last seen February 26th of 2024 on Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And Vinny, we have video of him and his mother at a restaurant on February 25th, the evening of the 25th. So this would be really just a few hours before.
Is that a that looks like a specific restaurant though. Is this that place looks familiar.
She went to wake him up to go to school and that she noticed that he was missing. So it's been, quite some time. There's still, developments coming out in this story. He has not been found, but we're looking right here just a few hours before he was reported missing by his mother.
And what is the current status of the investigation? Because this goes all the way back, as you said, back to 2024.
Yeah, Vinny, that Amber Alert is still very active. Police stress that this investigation is still very much so active. Even the FBI is offering $50,000 for any information regarding his whereabouts, Vinny. And his mother also has gone on record advising that if he is seen, if he is alive somewhere and someone sees him, to not approach him because his responses are a little bit different than other children. She says to just monitor him and simply call the police.
All right, Cody Thomas, appreciate all the work tonight. Thanks so much. And that brings us to the final question in our.
Was that a Bonanza? Is that where we ate that time? I wonder if Heather's still in here. Longhorn Steakhouse, is that what it is? Longhorn Steakhouse? Yes, Heather Brown is. I hope she's okay. I have delivered too many frat houses who sing the song nightly for us. What, Piano Man? You don't like the Edmund Fitzgerald song? Is that a Texas Roadhouse? Is that what that was? Could be. Why is he not to be talked to? What's wrong with him? Who? All right, let's finish this up here.
Our investigation for this hour, which is, where is Sebastian Rogers? Question we've been asking for quite some time. Still here helping us with our investigation, former homicide detective Chris McDonough, host of the Interview Room with Chris McDonough, along with Steve Fisher, who has been the private investigator hired by Sebastian's mother and stepfather. All right, Steve, I'll begin with you. This is like Gone Without a Trace.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is. It's a really confusing case, but and it's just there's a lot of misinformation out there. I'll tell.
Yeah, I think so too. Unfortunately, I think he's should have don't approach him because his answers wouldn't. Who says that? I don't know who says that. Yeah, I don't think it's a good ending to this story here. But I've been wrong before. Let's see here. Somebody said something in here. I wanted to Heavy eloped with her Scrabble board. That's too funny. John Belushi shit-face poster is not your original thought. Okay. How come Quad doesn't have a wrench? What happened to your wrench? Do you want a wrench? Tracy, let me know.
Tell you that at the beginning of the year we released where we found surveillance from a house 1 street over at 12:17 a.m. on the 26th, which would have been an hour and a half, 2 hours after he was heard in the bedroom. That person, as far as we know, is not accounted for. That is right along where the construction area is. And we think that there's a chance that was him. And then going into the construction area, I will tell you that at 8:30 a.m. the next morning, when the canines got on scene, a tracking canine came through another backyard and literally started running, and the handlers started jogging and went right to the exact spot where that surveillance image was taken.
And it gives just a little more information about that. What does the surveillance image show, and what story does it tell you?
So it's very hard to see. You have to enhance it, but it's a shadowy figure on Kellen Lane, which is 1 street over, which is where it's believed that he went and entered the construction zone. This is not that. This is a different one that the FBI has come out and said that is.
Okay, so I gave Quad. I think I gave you a wrench. Let me know if that works. Yeah, I think he had autism.
It's not of any relevance. It's one thing I also want to say is there's been very little news. Obviously, law enforcement is not talking about this case, and that has a lot to do with because this fake intelligence agency has come in and it kind of stirred things up. But I can promise you, there is still real efforts going on. Not long ago, we held a very precise, targeted search with forensic professionals, along with federal authorities alongside of them, and they were with us. And some of this was on.
Like I said, if you guys have channels, that's the reason why I give people wrenches here. So if you have a channel, if you know people have channels, I have absolutely no problem promoting good channels. I know that Paul is here. So if you have channels and know somebody has channels, feel free to throw them in the chat. I know a lot of creators don't like to do that, but I have no problem with that because the more we get the message out here, the better things are going to be.
Federal property. So there are things going on. We're just not talking about it regularly just because of how polarized the whole thing has become.
Well, it absolutely has. Chris McDonough, your thoughts about where Sebastian Rogers is?
This case was set into motion within the first 2 hours. when the first officer was on the scene. And the first question that was going to be asked, obviously, is this an abduction risk and or a walk away? It's not unusual for autistic children to walk out of the house without their shoes. There have been many cases where kids have done that, and they've been found 8, 10, 15 miles away. But now we're into 640 days approximately. And one of the biggest questions I've had is, in his autism, what's his medication?
Is Love and Light for All Trial Junkie? If anybody has a wrench, they can throw their own channels in here too. That's why I don't think you can do it if you don't have a wrench. But I think Love and Light for All thinks you're the other Heather. I'll try to find it too. I'll put it up there. Thank you, Mustang.
Package. And if he's on medication and he's with somebody, then the pharmacies are going to be a very big clue here. Because if those medications have not been re-upped and prescribed correctly, i.e. gotten refills, this child potentially could be deceased somewhere. And the search and rescue efforts then would become the primary focus in relationship to around the area that they're in.
We are out of time for tonight, but big thank you, Steve Fisher, Chris McDonough.
All right, so that's the end of that. I just wanted to play those 4 cases because those seem to be the 4 in the news, especially maybe we call this Owly. Okay. I'm just Dave's Heather. Not what? You're the only Heather. There you go. Okay, thank you. Awesome. Okay. What? Okay. All right, so what are we going to do now? We're going to go to this case here because this is a follow-up to this case we did a few weeks ago here. And I think that Southern Gal kind of touched on this last night too. So remember this guy here? We talked about this case, Chance Engelbert. He was part of a missing that we did a couple of weeks ago. They found some remains up on that hill. Remember that on that cliff there? Well, it turns out that they now calling this an accidental unaliving here. Authorities positively identified the remains found in Nebraska. That's right, it was in Nebraska. As those of missing Wyoming man Chance Engelbert, and deemed this is being an accident now. He disappeared in 2019 while visiting Gering, Nebraska, with his wife's family in October. Last month. Human remains were found near Scotts Bluff National Monument, and that was sent out for DNA testing. So here we go with this.
A missing persons case News Nation has been covering from the start. The family of a Wyoming man missing since 2019, Chance Engelbert, says that remains found in Nebraska are confirmed to be his. Engelbert, a rodeo star, disappeared while visiting his wife's family in Nebraska, leaving on foot after an argument. News Nation's Rich McHugh joins us live with the latest. Rich, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Nick. So officials in Nebraska say that DNA confirms that the body found last month is in fact Chance Engelbert, and the cause of death revealed as accident. But
that was a good movie. Heather's was a good movie. My mom's favorite singer of all time is Engelbert Humperdinck. I don't know why. He had some good stuff, but Heather is my only Heather. That's so sad. It is sad. It's very sad.
Spoken to the family and friends, they say this is not closure, and they simply do not believe this. 25-year-old Chance Engelbert, he was a cowboy at heart, putting himself through college on a riding scholarship. In 2018, he married Bailey, and they had a baby boy, Banks. Bright future, new job at a propane company in Wyoming where the couple lived. During a 2019 4th of July trip to Bailey's hometown in Gering, Nebraska, Chance Engelbert vanished. According to Gering police, Chance was golfing with Bailey's family, and Chance got upset over comments how he'd be making less money at his new job. According to Bailey, Chance called and said he wanted to leave, wanted to go back home to Wyoming. She picked him up and drove to her grandparents' house in Gering, and that, she said, made him more upset. He got out of the car and started walking away. Surveillance footage obtained by News Nation shows Chance Engelbert walking through Gering around 7:50 p.m. that night. In the video, you can see Chance look at his phone and take a 90-degree turn left as if following a map. That was the last Chance was seen alive. In 2022, I spoke with his best friend, Matt Miller, and his mom, Dawn.
Some people say, look, there was a powerful storm that night. The river was at its all-time high. It's a very good chance that he ended up in the river, and it's a tragic accident. What would you say?
I'd say Chance was born and raised for that kind of weather. There's just no way it could take him.
So you don't buy for a second this idea of a tragic accident?
Not even a second, no.
I need people to know, and he needs justice. I don't know who did it to him. I honestly don't. I hope it's a stranger. I just want people, somebody knows. You see this town, it's small. Somebody's seen something. Somebody knows something.
Authorities say they found Chance's body in a remote part of Scotts Bluff. The statement, they list cause of death as an accident, quote, a pattern of blunt force trauma most consistent with rapid deceleration event, including but not limited to a fall from height. Chance's mom, Dawn, doesn't bias. She gave me permission to share this on our air. She wrote, I honestly don't even know what to say. They feel that he walked that trail thinking it was a shortcut to Torrington and fell to his death. Our family will never believe this, as he just wouldn't do something like that, especially with the time of day and storm coming. We did not get answers nor any type of closure. We are heartbroken.
Could have got hit by lightning, but they would probably, I don't know, how the remains were left, but could have been anything.
Back to you, Nick.
Rich, thank you so much. You mentioned that Chance's wife, Bailey. What has been her response to this news? Because I have to believe she's rather upset as well.
Yeah, so in 2022, when I was out there investigating this, I asked her to interview. She declined an on-camera interview, but did tell me a couple things that I want to say. I want to read them. She wrote, I told the cops everything that I know. I've been completely transparent with them. I never hid anything from anybody involved with it. They just don't like the answers that I have to give. Now, I reached back out to...
There's a name I haven't heard in a very long time, Flip Wilson. Flip Wilson was amazing. He was such a good actor. How heavy was the rain? It was a pretty good storm. We did... they said blunt force trauma could have been consistent with a fall from heights. Could be something else. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, we did this last month, I think, and they just said they found human remains, and obviously they had to send it out. So I don't know how long they were there or what condition they were in. It just sucks.
Bailey today to see if she would like to weigh in or comment, and she has yet to respond. Nick.
Rich McHugh, thank you so much for that report.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download.
All right, so that's the end of that one there. I'll if anything else comes from that, I'll no. But that's how I mean, I just had a sense that was, but there was probably going to be an accident associated with that. Or I remember Flip Wilson, he had his own show with the state of deterioration. That's as far as they could determine. Yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate that. All right, so let's go to this case here. This is part of the missing that I try to do at least once a week. I don't think I did this. Dom's here. Good to see Dom. This is, I think I did this. I missed this. Somehow I missed this case here because this was done a month ago, but I'll pull up the information on her here pretty soon. I don't know how I missed this one. So this is, I try to do at least one of these a week. This is the missing This is about Ashley Marie Williams. Parents say she asked for money and it disappeared. Missing Series looks at the case of Ashley Marie Williams. A 28-year-old has been missing in Los Angeles since August. She had asked her parents for money, which ended up being the last time anyone heard or saw Ashley. Her parents traveled to Los Angeles, learning she had not been at her residence for months. They've teamed up with a private detective, traveling across Skid Row in hopes of finding Ashley. Her family is now turning to News Nation, who they say is the only network willing to cover her daughter's case. Marty Hughes spoke with Williams' parents about their daughter, how they're taking the case into their own hands with the fear someone may be holding Ashley against her will. So this is the case of Ashley Marie Williams, and I'll pull up some information on this here shortly.
Her in a text asking for money on August 29th. But Ashley never accepted the funds, and they have heard nothing since. Very unusual for their daughter, who was in constant contact with her family. Her parents have flown out to California, walking the streets of LA, pleading for help.
Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
I cut her umbilical cord. I was the first to hold her. I just want my baby back. I just want it back.
Ashley Williams was in touch with her dad every day. Sometimes it was a call, sometimes a text, but a day didn't go by without some sort of connection to her dad and to other family members.
Hey, Brandon. It's your cousin Ashley here. You remember that one time you tried to kick Flip off of the bench and you ended up like popping your kneecap?
Ashley grew up in Ohio. In 2022, her dad got a job transfer to Georgia. Ashley had been assaulted, a crime that scared her. With her family moving south, she decided to move to Los Angeles, one of the farthest places away from her imprisoned attacker.
She came to California because of an assault. She was assaulted in Cleveland, fearing that her attacker was going to get out of prison and come looking for her.
At 28, Ashley worked some retail and braided hair on the side. She was hoping to become a teacher.
She was learning Mandarin. She wanted to teach English as a second language. To Asian children, so that's why I suspect, according to what I'm hearing, that there's a large Asian population in Pomona.
On August 29th, Ashley texted her dad to send her money. He sent it, but she never accepted it. And that's the last time her parents heard from her.
The whole time that Ashley had been out here in California, there has not been a day that she had not talked to her dad. So immediately after a day of her not accepting the money, her dad starts saying, well, what's going on?
Ashley's parents called the LAPD for a welfare check.
Did I hear about the fire in Kenosha, Wisconsin on Thanksgiving? No. Send it to me if you want. I'll put my email in the chat. Okay, hold on a second. Let me put this in here. Fia's doing a lot better. Okay, so I just put my all right, so I just put my email in the chat, so if you could send it to me, that'd be fine. Amy G's back in here. Hi, Daisy, good to see you. All right, so I've been trying to pull up some information on this here.
Agents went to the place she'd been staying, a room at a house in the 3800 block of Crawford Street, and were told she hadn't been there since July. So Sherry and Dwayne got on a plane and flew to Los Angeles to search for Ashley and find answers themselves. They hired a private detective and went to Ashley's last known address.
These are the parents of Ashley.
Oh, hi, how are you?
Have you seen Ashley?
So, oh my goodness. Oh no. She So it's been a few months. The police, you called the police to come here, right? She hasn't been here in, I want to say about 2.5 months.
A call log from Ashley's phone shows she contacted the Midnight Mission on Skid Row. They went to Skid Row looking for Ashley among the homeless.
Dad started crying at some of the sites out there, because some of the sites we saw, it was just real people down and out.
There were blocks upon blocks upon blocks and blocks of homeless people. And to just imagine that my daughter might have been down there. Had we known, we would have caught the next flight out here.
Ashley have always known that we have always been there for her, to support her in whatever way, financially.
Again, we got Amy G in the chat. She's amazing. She's got a great channel. Very, very informative. It's always good to have her here and here. What else was I going to say? Okay. No, hold on. That's what I was going to do. Hold on 1 second here. So let's pull up, stop sharing that for a second. I want to go here. Okay. Thank you, Dom, if you sent that. So this is just all I can find on this here. It doesn't seem like there's a lot. So this is her. This is from Missing Black People. He's awesome. He does a really good job on these things here. Ashley Marie Williams, 28, missing from Los Angeles, California since August 27, 2025. Ashley was last heard from by her father. When she reached out for some money, he would send the money, but Ashley would never accept it. And since then, she has not been heard from since. Ashley's phone log showed a contact from the Midnight Mission on Skid Row, and her family has searched, but to no avail. Ashley's family is reported missing to the Los Angeles Police Department, and they are actively looking for her. You actually really believe that. The family has also hired a private investigator to assist with finding information about what happened to her. She stands 5 feet 5 inches tall and weighs approximately 115 pounds. She has black hair and brown eyes. She's also known as Pamela Yasmina Martinez Hale. The family is pleading with the public with any information on Ashley's whereabouts. If you have any information on the disappearance of Ashley Williams, please contact the LAPD, Newton Community Police Station at 213-996-1800 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222. I guess I could have just gone there. 222 tips. Okay, so I'll have to look at this place here, the Midnight Mission. All right, let's go here. The trucking route where Ashley has disappeared has had several abductions of women. The trucking route. Thank you for that, V. Hold on 1 second here. Let me go back to this. Stop sharing that.
We have been something that we always try to instill in all of our children, no matter what the situation is, no matter how bad it gets, please come to us. We're here to support, to help, and that's what we've been doing all this time that Ashley been here in LA.
Both Sherry and Dwayne say their faith and their church community keeps them going.
Can't sleep, can't eat. It's difficult to even function. Not knowing there's absolutely positively no way that I could function without faith.
But the pain.
All right, hold on a second here. Let's go. Here we go with the maps thing. I mean, this is a big freaking place, right? This is South Los Angeles here. Good Lord. But this is the apparently the homeless shelter here, the Midnight Mission here. That's that there. I try not to chill too many people here. That's it there. But this is I mean, this is the area here. Something about a trucking route though. Who said that? Was that V that said that? All right, so let's go back. I just wanted to get an idea of where that was. Stop this here. Sorry.
Doesn't stop.
Please come home. Let us help you. You got so many family, so many people that want you back home. That's all we want you. We want you back home safely. You don't have to worry about somebody hurting you. And if anybody, God forbid, but if there's anybody that's holding her, just let her go. Just please let her go. Let her come home.
And with us now, Ashley's parents, Dwayne and Sherry Williams. My heart, absolutely.
That's a good question. So what did they say? 3,000 block. I'll never find that now. So let's let this
Breaks for
play.
the two of you and what you are going through, not knowing where Ashley is right now. Dwayne, let me start with you. Did you leave Los Angeles with any clearer picture as to what may have happened?
No, I mean, no. I just,
Oh, these poor people. This is just so horrible.
no, I just need to know something. I just need to know something. I mean, I just want her back.
Sherry, when you were in Los Angeles and you guys went to Skid Row, you were with my friend Moses Castillo, retired LAPD detective. What clues did you uncover as you searched for Ashley?
Wow, that's a good question. We were hoping to find clues.
Okay, so hold on a second. We got so she's been missing since August 27th, 2025. I'm just going to read this and not female, obviously, date of birth 5/2/1997. You do the math on that. Height 5'5", weight 120 pounds. This is coming from the Attorney General in California. Scars, marks, and tattoo, flower or butterfly tattoo on unknown wrist. I don't know what the hell that means. There isn't a lot of information on this here at all. So that's kind of, yeah, I mean, what does flower or butterfly tattoo on unknown wrist mean? Is that they don't know which wrist it's on? Okay, so let's go back to this here. Hold on a second here.
Hoping to be able to bring her back home with us, but that was not the case. It's just so heartbreaking, and I know how much it hurts us to have to leave Los Angeles and not have her and not have a clue at all. We just knew where we were going, that was not our daughter. That was not how she was raised. That's not how she lived. So is very, very confusing to us.
What do you both know about the people that she was hanging out with? You went to that home where she was last known to be staying. What did they say about the days and weeks leading up to her disappearance? Dwayne?
Well, the one guy said that she was a loner. Ashley didn't trust a whole lot of people. After the assault in Cleveland, it's like she just retreated within herself. I mean, I didn't think that she would. I didn't think she's going to be out here that long. We supported her, but from what we're hearing is that the one guy said that she looked sad all the time, and she was, she was a loner.
Oh my God.
The times that I spoke with her, she even said, "Dad, I want to get out more," but she just didn't trust people. She didn't trust people at all. This just her attacker was part of her friend group. He was engaged to one of her good friends, so no one believed her when she talked about it. So these are people that she's known ever since she's been in the first, second, third grade. Some of these people she's known for that long, and they didn't believe her until the evidence came back, the rape kit came back. Then all of a sudden the story changes. But at that point, the damage had been done. So she's not very trustful of people, not at all.
Yeah, no, something like that fraction.
Okay, so hold on a second here. I think I found it. Okay, I think I found it. So this is the 3800 block, Crawford Street, Los Angeles, California. So this is apparently where she was kind of supposedly staying at, as I just said. So this is here, street view here. And this is in, I believe this is southern Los Angeles here. So I don't want to dox anybody there. So this is Crawford Street here. This is the 3800 block here. So I'm going to save this. Awesome. Okay, so we saved that. I'll come back to this if I need to, but at least we found out where, I mean, I don't know if this is going to tell us anything here, but this is, looks like a four-way, this is Los Angeles. So, I mean, I think it's this place right here. All right, let's get out of this here. It's tough when there isn't a lot of information because it's
Your trust, it's hard to get it back. Is there any suspicion that the case from Cleveland could have anything to do with this? Is that perpetrator of the attack still behind bars?
No, he's been released, and in speaking with the detectives in Cleveland, Ohio, he did report. He's mandated to report for, I think, 15 years. So the last report was that he was still in the area, and we're still waiting to hear back just to confirm it, because I guess his parole officer is going to reach out and just confirm that he is where he say he is. But
Sherry, what was Ashley doing in Los Angeles? Was she working? Oh, it looks like Sherry's shot may have frozen. Dwayne, was Ashley working? What was she doing in Los Angeles?
She worked at part-time at Burlington. She worked, I think, I want to say at the Salvation Army, and she also braided hair on the side. We were mostly supplementing her income. whenever she needed, if she needed money for whatever reason, we sent it to her.
And when she reached out to you and said she was lonely, was she in fear of her safety? Was there anyone that she was concerned about?
She mentioned someone that she was concerned about, a name that we gave the LA detectives. She had sent me a message maybe 2 weeks before that she felt as though it was dangerous. I was like, sweetheart, why are you there? Leave. I knew that she didn't have her ID, so I sent her money to get that.
Okay, so she traveled from Georgia to Los Angeles on that week. This is the Amplify effort. So the family traveled from Georgia to Los Angeles. Ashley was last seen more than 2 months ago. In July 2025, near where we just were, the 3800 block of Crawford Street in Los Angeles. I'm just kind of reading this. I don't see a photograph. Okay, so in support of family search, nationally recognized victim advocate and retired LAPD detective supervisor Moses Castillo has been retained. So he's the private investigator looking for answers here. A recent photo of Ashley Marie Williams is included below. I don't see a picture. All right. That's it. That's all I can get for information. I can't get, but she was last seen at that intersection there, apparently.
The ID, and she was saying that she had to catch so many buses. So my objective was to either fly here, and if I couldn't help her get her ID, I would have just rented the car to drive back.
Dwayne, what about her phone? Have law enforcement been helpful in trying to locate her phone devices or any social?
Yep, you guys are all awesome. I appreciate all of these people here in the chat. You guys are awesome people. I definitely wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. Yeah, she may have trusted the wrong person. Thank you, Free Peach. Thank you, Miranda Lee. Miranda Lee's awesome. Miranda Lee's been here forever, literally. All right, let's get back to this here. I wonder, why would somebody borrow money, ask to borrow money and then not want it? I mean, I guess that's the question I have. Why would somebody... So he just said here that they were kind of supplementing her income, right? So she worked.
Whenever she needed, if she needed money for whatever reason, we sent it to her.
And when she reached out to you and said,
so it was something that they did on a, I don't want to say on a regular basis, but so why would somebody, I wonder how much it was. Maybe she was trying to move or get out of there, and then she decided not to, maybe. Why would somebody ask for money, to borrow money, and then decide, especially from parents like that, then decide not to?
Said she was lonely. Was she in fear of her safety? Was there anyone that she was concerned about?
She mentioned someone that she was concerned about, a name that we get.
Unindicted is here. Unindicted co-conspirator is here. Good to see you. Awesome to see you. Big Fishy is back in here. She might have gotten robbed. Absolutely. The only reason why I would think maybe somebody would do that is maybe she was trying to move. She needed money to move or something like that. I'm stoned. I don't know. Awesome. If you can't beat them, get stoned. and put bacon on top. Great tip. Thank you so much. Yeah, bacon is good on anything. All right, so let's get back to this.
Gave the LA detectives. She had sent me a message maybe 2 weeks before that she felt as though it was dangerous. And I was like, sweetheart, why are you there? Leave. You know, I knew that she didn't have her ID, so I sent her money to get the ID, and she was saying that she had to catch so many buses. So my objective was to either fly here, and if I couldn't help her get her ID, I would have just rented the car to drive back.
Dwayne, what about her phone? Have law enforcement been helpful in trying to locate her phone devices or any social media?
No.
No, they haven't been helpful, or no, they haven't found anything?
No, because we reported her missing on the 2nd. The first was a holiday. That Friday is the last time I heard from her. So her phone would turn off and turn on like it ran out of power, and like someone charged it and then they would turn it back on. Ironically, the same day they did the welfare check is the same day that her phone turned off for good. And we contacting AT&T and Apple and all these other people, you need to get a police order, and they need to, and the police are saying it needs to be evidence of some type of crime in order to ping the location of her phone. And there has to be changes. You should not, if someone's missing, you should not have to go through all of that. I paid her phone. Her phone was on my plan. So you mean to tell me that I can't even get that info?
Hold on a second here.
If someone's missing, you should not have to go through all.
Okay, so here we are.
The first was a holiday. That Friday is the last time I heard from her. So her phone would turn off and turn on like it ran out of power, and like someone charged it and then they would turn it back on. Ironically, the same day they did the welfare check is the same day that her.
I got to hear this again. Sorry.
Buses. So my objective was to either fly here, and if I couldn't help her get her ID, I would have just rented the car to drive back.
Dwayne, what about her phone? Have law enforcement been helpful in trying to locate her phone devices or any social media?
No.
No, they haven't been helpful, or no, they haven't found anything?
No, because we reported her missing on the 2nd. The first was a holiday. That Friday is the last time I heard from her. So her phone would turn off and turn on like it ran out of power, and like someone charged it and then they would turn it back on.
Why would a phone? Oh, good night, sweetie. I hope you get some sleep. You should be sleeping, for sure. It's always good to have my better half on here. That way I have to behave. Throw some bacon on it. Absolutely. I hate broccoli, but if you put bacon on broccoli, I'd probably eat it. I made a turkey today. There we go. That's the one we were looking for right there. Just while roasting, took it off the last hour, so the good brown. It was perfect. You don't behave ever. Okay, the secret's out then. Why would somebody's phone turn on and off like that? That's weird.
Ironically, the same day they did the welfare check is the same day that.
Okay, so this is their missing person, Los Angeles Police Department, West First Street, Los Angeles. I can't read that there. I'm gonna try to find this poster and then post it on my community page at some point because I can't read this and I can't find it. So
her phone turned off for good, and we contacting AT&T and Apple and all these other people. You need to get a police order, and they need to, and the police are saying it needs to be evidence of some type of crime in order.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think when it comes to children, I don't know. I don't know how they could do that though, because some people want their phones turned off, right? But I think if it's a parent and the parent's paying for the phone service, I think they should have access to, I don't know. They need to change that because there's so many cases that I've gone through over the years where all they needed was the phone service to just cooperate and just, instead of having to wait for the police to get a search warrant, a warrant for the phone records and stuff like that. I think they need to fix that.
Order to ping the location of her phone, and there has to be changes. You should not, if someone's missing, you should not have to go through all of that. I paid her phone.
Especially if you're paying for the phone, like if you're the one paying for the phone, not her phone. I can see if it's her phone, and she's 18 and she's above age, and I understand people want their privacy and shit like that. But if he's paying for the phone service, you should have rights to the phone records. Period. That's just my opinion. But then you get into the weeds, you get into, maybe the family did it and that's why they want this. So I don't know what to tell you, but I think in situations they just need to release the phone records.
Her phone's on my plan. So you mean to tell me that I can't even get that information? It doesn't make sense.
The forensics phone forensics are important. Almost important as DNA, in my opinion. Especially in a big city like Los Angeles. You can probably pinpoint exactly where the phone. There's probably so many towers and GPS and all of that stuff. That stuff is critical in a missing persons case like this here. Just my opinion.
Sense.
Yeah. Dwayne, I hate to tell you that so many families of missing people that we talk to experience the same thing that you're going through, and it's just not right. If there's anything that can help bring Ashley.
Impressed that my Heather came on to chat because she usually doesn't like to do that, but she's awesome. She's definitely my better half, for sure. But this is strange here. Why would somebody ask to borrow money and then not want it?
Ashley home, if it's pinging a tower to find her phone, I'm with you. I think that should be done. Sherry, do you have any theories about what may have happened as you were out there in Los Angeles?
It's almost like, why do referees throw flags on a football play and then pick it up and say there's no penalty? Like, did they see something they didn't? I don't know what to tell you. But why would somebody ask for money and then say, no, I don't need it? That's just kind of weird.
Los Angeles, walking around Skid Row, talking to people who had last seen Ashley. What do you think happened?
Me, knowing Ashley and knowing her character.
Did that happen tonight? Was that tonight? I know there was something going on tonight. I don't know where it was. Oh, that one there. Yeah, no, I don't.
I cannot see her just disappearing off the face of the earth and just not trying to contact us in any way whatsoever. I don't know. I'm wondering if someone have her. That's what I'm thinking, because I just cannot see her not calling us and just disappearing just like that. I was hoping that we will have a better.
Yeah, it's not anytime you're having like constant communications with your family members, and then all of a sudden that stops quickly like that. That's, in my opinion, that's what they call a red flag, right? Especially if you're in, another state. It's not like they're close where they're being, you're being bothered by your parents or something like that. But the fact that she's in constant communication with them, and then all of a sudden that just stops out of the blue like that, but to me, that's kind of like a red flag.
Better communication with LAPD, of them calling us, informing us, what's going on. I think ever since we filed the missing report, we may have talked to them. The
shootings I don't like to cover because I just think they get too much coverage anyways. I mean, there's this one guy that's all he does is nothing but gloom and doom when it's there was a CA at a child's birthday. That's the one that I saw. It's just because they always talk, it's like they always talk about the shooter. It's like it's they don't need any more exposure from me.
Person.
I mean, I feel bad for the victims, of course, for sure, but it seems to always be about the person who did it, and I just crazy.
Who is on her case maybe 2 to 3 times in the whole time, and that's the part that is heartbreaking. And I understand, as we were showed when we met them face to face, that was set down in front of us was a book of cases, which I thought was kind of heartbreaking. We're talking about our daughter case, and you're telling us that you have all these other cases to cover. What comfort was that for us to know if our daughter case is going to be covered or not? I understand every second matters. And that's what we were crying out, yelling out. What are you guys doing? If someone do have her, what now?
Yeah. Wow, that's frustrating. Dwayne, do you all have plans to go back out there? I know you're working with Moses Castillo. What's the next step?
Oh, we're definitely going back out there. We're going back out there. We're going to keep going back there and keep going back there. We're going to find something. My daughter is not going to be another statistic. She's not going to be that. We're going to find her. We're going to get some information. We're definitely going back out there.
Finally, we're looking at images of Ashley on the screen. What else stands out about her that people should be looking for? Any characteristics? And if you both could say something to Ashley right now so that she could hear you, what would you say? Dwayne, I'll start with you.
Sweetheart, please, I cannot. Please contact me. Please send me a message. You send me something. I just send me something, sweetheart. Something. We've been through a lot together. Our family has been through a lot together, and just let me help you. I don't care what it is. Please. And if she's being held, my daughter go. Let her go. Please. I pray you have a conscience. Just let her go.
God, I'm so sorry. Sherry, what do you want Ashley to hear?
Ashley, you know how much we love you. You know that. We miss you. My daily prayer is that if someone is holding you against your will, my prayer is that the Lord would give you a way of escape. I want you to know that we are not going to stop looking for you until we find you. Please call us.
The other sad thing about these cases here is the police don't tell the family anything, especially if it's an investigative thing. They're not going to tell anybody anything. They don't have to, but that's what it's got to be so frustrating to the family of the victim or whoever it is, because they want information and they want to know where their daughter is, but the law enforcement, even if the law enforcement had information, they wouldn't tell them anyways. That's just a rule of thumb. And that's got to suck.
Anyway, if you can break away, try to escape.
Dwayne and Sherry, again, I am so sorry for the nightmare that you both are living right now. I hope so deeply that Ashley hears and feels your prayers and your loving words, and that if she is being held, that whomever that is does the right thing. And you've got an army of people who want to support and help you all and get the word out. I'd like to have as many people following us and our missing series to keep a lookout for Ashley in Los Angeles so that we can bring her home to you guys safely. Thank you for giving us your time.
I love I like this channel. She's obviously not perfect, Marnie Hughes, but mainstream media has their own agendas and stuff like that, but she at least covers some of these cases that nobody else will do. But anyways, I'll keep following this here.
For sharing Ashley and her story with us. I promise you we will stay on it as well.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
And we would like to thank you. So very much for taking our story, because we had one person that really crushed our heart that would not even cover our story because of, I don't know. So we thank you. And we thank you for the work that you do. And I pray that God continue to bless you to do what you do. Because there's so many hurting families out here.
These poor people, man, they just want answers. It's just, it just sucks. It's just, you just want to get angry. It's awful. So I'll keep an eye on that there. This might be the other one that V was talking about here, though. Hold on a second here. Which is this one here. This was done 3 days ago. Let's check into this here. Body found on side of a SoCal road, identified as missing woman. Body found on the side of the road in Roman area, has been identified as a missing woman, and her death is being investigated as a homicide. So let's check this out here.
Antelope Valley has now turned into a homicide investigation after her body was found on the side of the road in Lancaster. Now detectives are hoping for the public's help in finding her killer. Eyewitness News reporter Leo Stallworth has more.
Posters like this one put up throughout the Antelope Valley, family members of Aisha Massey.
So this is Aisha Massey, date of birth 9/18/1983, age 42, female.
Say she had been missing since mid-October. Obviously, family
Mid-October, so 10/15, so a month after.
members hoping, praying to find her alive. Sadly, that would not be the case. Roughly a week ago, a gruesome discovery just north of the Lancaster city limits.
A road cleanup crew were cleaning up debris off Challenger Way, and they started in the area of Avenue E and were working their way up to Avenue F, cleaning up trash, when one of the individuals cleaning up trash located what he believed to be a person or a body wrapped in some material.
The cleanup crew immediately alerting law enforcement, who determined the victim had sustained sharp force injuries to the neck area, leading to her death.
They believe that it is a body that's been discarded on the side of the road.
The coroner identifying the victim as Aisha Massey, the same person in the missing person poster. Horrible news for the family of the victim, who obviously were hoping she would have been found alive, but that is not the case, and so close to the holidays. I spoke to the victim's family. They are too distraught to speak to Eyewitness News. I also spoke to investigators who say this is a murder investigation at this point, and they need the public's help identifying a suspect, a murder suspect, and coming up with a motive. If you can help them, they want you to call them at the Sheriff's Homicide Bureau at 323-890-5500. That number again, 323.
All right, so this is kind of strange, huh? I agree that you. Yep. Thank you, Mustang. Did you get the articles I sent you, Dave? Oh yeah, prayers for sure. Let's see here. What articles? Oh, thank you, Doms. Appreciate that. That's the fire. I got your am I going live tonight? But I didn't get and I just got Dom's to here email. So thank you for that. But let me just hold on a second here.
3-890-5500. Leo Stallworth, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, so hold on one second here. Let me get out of this here. Oops. So this is I just kind of mapped this out really quick. So this is 3800 block place here. And I'm not saying that this is connected. I'm just saying, hold on a second here. And this is just outside of Los Angeles here is where this person was found, up in here. So it might be. I always get a little nervous when you have two, this is not saying that these are connected or anything, but you got this one case here and then another person missing. Kind of, I don't want to say they're the same identifiers, but I'll have to keep an eye on that because that's 2 in 1 month. Let's go here while we're here. Hold on a second here. All right, here, let's go here because I didn't see this earlier. So hold on one second here. I'll keep an eye on that though, because that's interesting. And I think V said somewhere in here that there was I wonder if that's who she was talking about, was that other one I just played. Let's go to Gilgo Beach. I do know that Joe Giacalone and the other guy there are doing a really good job with this here. I know they did the DNA on the other guy that was supposedly maybe responsible for one of the unalivings in the Gilgo 4, but his DNA was not there. So it's not him. Forget his name. But anyways, this is the latest on. I was going to play this at some point. The Gilgo Beach unaliving cases continues to captivate investigators and the public alike. With a suspect in custody, authorities are piecing together the timeline, evidence, and links to multiple victims in this high-profile unaliving. And like I said, Joe Giacalone and I forget the other guy's name. They're doing a great job on this stuff here.
They say he just does not fit the profile of who they believe would be connected to such a horrific cold case.
Straight up on 8 a.m. right now, and we are coming to you with breaking news. This just into the Pix 11 newsroom. These are live images out of Suffolk County, Long Island, and Massapequa Park, where we're being told, and this is big news here at the top of the hour, that there has been an arrest in the Gilgo Beach murder case, which we've been following over the years here. This is a
Yeah, I get that. I'm going to play that next. Thank you for reminding me, though, on the Judith Lord case, for sure. Thank you, Paula. yeah, I got that. I'm going to play that next. I'm only going to play a little of this here, and then we'll move on to that.
Massive police response here in Massapequa Park, and these are live images that we're closely following.
As you can see right now, we know Suffolk County, Nassau County, and New York State investigators are all on this scene here. One person, we're told, is in custody, but that person's connection to the decades-old spree of unsolved murders is still not totally disclosed. But Mary Murphy has been looking into all of this.
Mary Murphy has been on this case from the very beginning. Our intrepid reporter, she's joining us now on the phone with these breaking details. Mary, good morning. What do you know?
Good morning, Dan and Kala. I can tell you that it is a man that was arrested this morning in Massapequa Park, which is right near the Nassau County, Suffolk County border. And Massapequa has always been part of this case because we reported early on, about 10 years ago, that there was a ping that came from one of the victims' phones that went to a tower in Massapequa. And a senior law enforcement source just spoke to me this morning. He confirmed the arrest. And we understand that there will be some kind of an indictment unsealed out in Riverhead later today, and that the suspect will be taken out to Riverhead. No name yet, but I'm told he's middle-aged to senior in age, between his 50s and his 60s, which would make sense because some of these victims were found back as far back as 1996. 2 legs were found in Davis Park near Fire Island. But the real big beginning of this investigation was December 2010 when the first 4 victims were found along Ocean Parkway in Gilgo Beach.
I mean, Mary, this has been years in the making, right? Documentaries, movies been made about this very case. Rodney Harrison, the Suffolk County Police Commissioner, even formed a specialized unit to investigate these murders. And he said he believed there would be an arrest in the near future. And here we are today. Any word, Mary, I know this is early on and you're just getting word of these details, on how police were able to navigate their way to Massapequa Park and this specific individual?
Well, what you know that the task force was formed in February this year. It involved the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office, the police department in Suffolk County, Nassau County was involved, the FBI, the state police, a huge task force. And I did learn this morning that within a month, this suspect was identified. But then you have the work of DNA. You also had extensive phone analysis that was done. Now, what made the case difficult was it was believed that the killer was using a burner phone. So when he would make the dates with some of these victims.
So this is such bullshit because they had, it's the one thing I hate about this case here, not to mention the victims and stuff like that, but they had this guy years ago. And they literally had this guy back in 2010, 11. I mean, they had enough sufficient evidence where if there wasn't such incompetence and just sheer idiots working on the case, this guy would have been all of this would be over by now. This is New York at its finest here. These cops and some of these just people in higher positions, just, I don't know. And I usually don't go after law enforcement, but in this case here, it's they had the car, they had him, they literally had a witness that beat the guy up. That said, this is the guy, and the van, the vehicle, they knew where he was. It's just so weird.
Who were sex workers, a lot of them, he would use a burner phone. So those are harder to track down. But the thing about Massapequa just stands out to me because I've long reported that there was a ping that came from one of the victims' phones. And
that was, if you read the reports and you read the investigation, they had all of this stuff a decade ago.
The killer apparently was taunting the younger sister of one victim using the victim's phone and saying very nasty things. And there was a ping that went from Penn Station and then apparently along the railroad and then Massapequa. So this makes sense that they found someone in Massapequa. The killer apparently was taunting the younger sister of one victim.
Yeah, this is Rex Heuermann. They literally had him. There's only so many people that drive that vehicle. I mean, it's just so, I I kind of like to go over these things because it makes me angry. You know, it took the what they call the mod squad or whatever they want to call them, Rodney Harrison and the new DA, about 2 weeks to put this whole case together. And they literally threw the FBI out because they, you can't make this stuff up.
Using the victim's phone and saying very nasty things. And there was a ping that went from Penn Station and then apparently along the railroad and then Massapequa. So this makes sense that they found someone in Massapequa.
Mary, can you go over, I know in the past your reporting has included.
No, this is basically like a timeline of how they got this guy. Where all the chatters go, who is the guy they say? Do they say it? They had another guy, John, I always forget his name, but they had arrested somebody on other cases, and they were, years ago, they were trying to pin, I think it was the Sandra Castillo, I think it was her, that they were trying to pin on the, I forget his name, Philbro, John Philbro, I think his name was. For the earliest one, I think it was, I'll have to go through my notes again, but the 1993 unaliving, they were trying to pin it on him, and they, the lawyers for the guy that's in jail now, Philbro, wanted to get the DNA tested at the scene to test it against Rex Heuman's DNA, but it didn't match. So that was a nice try, Federal Bureau of Idiots. But that didn't turn out to be the case. So they're going to definitely go after this guy. I do want to go to this case here really quick, though, since Paula was nice enough to bring it up. So let's get out of here. There's always basketball season. That's true. All right, so let's do this here. So this is the case.
After 50 years, investigators say.
So they've uncovered this case here, the Judith Lord case. After 50 years, investigators say they've identified the man who unalived Judith Lord in a Concord, New Hampshire neighborhood while her toddler was in the other room. Neighborhood had been incorrectly ruled out early on Lord's, and I think he's unalive now. So it turns out to be the guy they thought it was, but he was ruled out early. But this is the case of Judith Lord here, and this. I'm not going to play the whole press conference because it's 38 minutes, but they got him, right? So here we go.
Say they have finally solved one of.
And this was done on the 24th, so a few days ago.
The New Hampshire's most haunting cold cases. The person responsible for killing Judy Lord in Concord back in 1975 has been identified. Our NBC 10's Mary Marcos joining us now with the details. Mary, what helped crack this case for investigators?
New forensic science developments in forensic science helped it. And not only did this murder devastate her family, it changed the law. The man we now know responsible for her death refused to give samples, and that led to a landmark decision that still shapes forensic. As investigators described how the 20 Concord apartment 50 years ago.
In spite of it happening many years ago, it still has a negative impact on the family.
New Hampshire investigators say the young mother was strangled in a violent struggle, her 20-month-old son unharmed in the next room.
Miss Lord was found naked, and evidence was immediately indicative of a sexual assault.
For years, the case went cold, despite early suspicion of her next-door neighbor, Ernest Theodore Gable.
Specifically, a 1975 FBI hair analysis report incorrectly excluded what ultimately came to be our suspect and our perpetrator.
With 5 fingerprints on her window and 5 hairs on her body, new DNA testing confirmed what investigators long suspected. Gable was Judy's killer.
And those towels had hardened stains consistent and which would later be determined to be seminal fluid.
Officials say if Gable were alive today, he would face first-degree murder charges.
Judy was a kind person who loved her son very much.
Diane Lord helped raise Judy's son with his father.
When we got married, he was 4. He would call me mom.
The son wrote a statement for the announcement.
We've been distraught for too long. My only hope is that this closure brings peace to my mother's family.
Now, this is just one of more than 100 cold cases New Hampshire investigators are looking into, both to bring peace to families like Judy's and to correct decades.
That's the thing, it's like people have been, and I know states have their money issues and budgets and stuff like that, but when it comes to these cases, like, finally, New Hampshire has its own separate, its own cold case unit. And that's what you need to solve these things because, just 10, 15 years ago, you couldn't do, genealogical forensic testing. It might have been possible, but you had to wait and it cost a lot and all that stuff. But nowadays they should take all of these cases but the limit is money, the resources they have. And finally, right, they have their own cold case unit here. And hopefully they can get some closure to some of these cases because this state's been horrible. Just terrible. I'm just glad Alabama won. That's all I care about. They seem to be the only team of mine that's doing anything this year. So I think they're going to get destroyed, but they'll make it in. So that's all that matters, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. All right. So that's the end of that one. Let's go here. I'm a huge Alabama fan. I just, let's see here. We'll do this one next. Do a couple more, then we'll get out of here. This is another cold case. I wanted to play this last week. I didn't have time. This is coming out of Seattle. DNA breakthrough leads to the arrest in 1994, unaliving a 14-year-old Tanya Frazier. More than 30 years after Tanya Frazier was unalive, prosecutors have charged 57-year-old Mark Anthony Roos with first-degree murder after new DNA evidence links him to the case. See, they don't need that much DNA these days. So hopefully they can start. The problem is money. It's always been money. Like these tests aren't cheap, So
to the murder of 14-year-old Tanya Frazier, the cold case may finally have some answers. Prosecutors have charged 57-year-old Mark Russ with first-degree murder with sexual motivation.
A break in DNA evidence linked the man to the case that has haunted her mother and the entire community. Fox 13's Alejandra Guzman sat down with her and a private investigator as she prepares to face her daughter's accused killer in court.
So it just brings up little memories of different things.
For 31 years, the answers never came, but the memories never left.
Her new bike.
Let's see here. I'm more concerned of Ohio State than I am Georgia, to be honest with you. Alabama seems to have Georgia's number, but you never know. It's college football, so anybody. We seem to have problems with teams that we would never have had problems before, like Vanderbilt and Oklahoma and Michigan. It's like really weird. But there's Tanya Frazier right there.
This is how Teresa Frazier keeps her daughter close. Tanya's birthday parties, always around Halloween because she was born October 29th. Costumes, party hats, and a good time frozen on glossy paper.
Where we were living when she disappeared. It's the backyard.
Then there's also Tanya's last professional photo, framed but not hanging. It stays tucked in Teresa's room, too hard to see every day. Teresa is preparing to walk into the King County courtroom and for the first time face the man prosecutors say killed her daughter.
I'm actually nervous about it.
Detectives knocked on Teresa's door to let her know prosecutors have charged 57-year-old Mark Anthony Russ with murder, saying new DNA technology tied him to Tanya's disappearance and death in July of 1994.
Telling you, the other team people aren't keeping an eye on right this very second is Notre Dame. I know everyone's firing their coach. Isn't he playing in Miami now? Isn't that Carlson Beck? I could be wrong.
Kind of brought up emotions all over again of like the day they came out and told me that they found her and she was killed.
Seattle police say Tanya was last seen leaving Mini Middle School on a Monday. Her body was found 2 days later. For more than 3 decades, Rose Winquist has been working Tanya's case since the very beginning.
You know, notes upon notes upon notes.
Rose kept every note she wrote. Tanya's face inside every other page. A teen she met through mementos in her.
Yeah, me too. But I think they gave who did they play last year? They played Georgia pretty good. I don't think anybody's beating OSU either, and I hate OSU, but I could be wrong.
Her bedroom.
She was a little 14-year-old girl. I have letters that I took from her room that talk about my life story, you know, and I had to laugh. And it's like, and she talks about things like, oh, there's this new character on Sesame Street. He's really cute. His name's Elmo. Right?
Rose says there were clues, even back then, that Russ may have lived steps from someone Tanya knew. Russ's mother lived across the street from Mini Middle School, according to court documents.
I have my other channel, Danger Dave channel, and I'm going to be hopefully doing an update on the NFL season. If not this week, next week. I want to wait till after tomorrow. But that's the sports channel there.
Rose doesn't believe Tanya was someone he chose randomly.
The reason potentially that
Yes, Alabama is the only Crimson Tide.
he killed her is because she could identify him.
Court documents say Russ, an unregistered sex offender, was convicted several times, including of a home invasion robbery in 1996. He was sentenced to life in prison, but in 2021, he was resentenced and released from prison due to changes in state law. Teresa has lost more than a daughter.
This poor kid. These things just suck so bad. It's 1994. I was probably drunk in 1994.
You know, she could have been married now. She could have had kids, grandkids. And she didn't have a chance to even finish high school. Because this man took her life.
But the question Teresa is now asking is why the man charged in her daughter's murder slipped through the system for decades.
I think in many ways the system failed, Tanya, because the DNA, like I said, has definitely progressed over the years. And the police had it early on. But the problem was they didn't have the killers.
Yeah, no problem, Dom. I try not to promote my stuff as much as possible, but I'll do it. I'll probably put it in the description at the end of the. It was a channel I had before I went to Owl on a Prowl, so it's basically Danger Dave at YouTube. I think, I don't know. I do like this plant there, though.
Teresa and Rose never stopped trying to keep Tanya's case alive. Now they're holding on to hope that justice won't slip away. The difference now is they're focused on remembering Tanya.
Poor kid. You know, you just got to think, you know, she's never going to she's never going to graduate school. She's never going to go through her teens, which is probably the best time in life, right? It's debatable whether it's the teens or, you know, early 20s. Right around there. I don't know. It just sucks. For what? It's horrible.
Not the crime, but the child she was.
I've always remembered her as a sweet person and loving. She was just a happy kid. And
when I'm not here in the chat talking about true crime, sports. Like sports has always been sports and music, the two of them. But I appreciate that, Fur Baby Daddy. It's good to see you here. It's good to see everybody here. Doms is always welcome here. Mustang, it's always good to see you guys. Appreciate it a lot.
That her life got taken away.
You know, it does give hope to a lot of families out there of unsolved murders when they have the DNA, but it's important.
I mean, I love my teams, but at the same time, I freaking hate my teams. I don't make excuses for my teams. If they're going to suck, they're just going to suck. I'm not going to, you know, I see these chats all the time. People are talking up their teams, and like if my team sucks, I'm just going to tell you, you know, they're just terrible. I'm not gonna die on a sword for my team. If they're terrible, they're terrible. I'll tell people that. They're just it's just the way it is.
Important for people to understand, these detectives that go back and work these cases, they have to get the original case, have that retested to see if there is male DNA, which is what they did in this. They actually took her autopsy results, retested that, found the DNA, which matched to the DNA from him in prison. But
the years ago, you used to have to have a ton of DNA. You know, it's not like that anymore. You can lift. Like Mr. Steve says, there's always going to be DNA at a crime scene, no matter what it is. You know, it's hard to go somewhere without leaving DNA, right? But years ago, you know, you needed a whole bunch of it to get any type of, and it took forever to get it tested. And then once you got it tested, you had to go upload it to CODIS. And then if they weren't in CODIS, you're pretty much shut out of luck. So nowadays, that's not the case anymore. So a lot of these cases are going to start, you know, hopefully if they have the right forensic team and the right cold case unit, they can get some of this stuff. And it's not just, you know, DNA forensics. It's, like I said, cell phone data forensics is getting better. Computer forensics, they can, if you think you can delete stuff on a computer, well, that's probably not the case. I mean, electronic forensics has come a long way too.
that's took 5 years to get that done.
Wow.
So that's a lot of waiting time for families.
It truly is. I mean, in this case, you're asking yourself, why did it take so long? If he's been in and out of jail, we know that he's been convicted before. But the key here, according to Rose, is that they never took his DNA, despite him being released multiple times, until the 2021 release, which is, they've been waiting 31 years. I mean, at this point, they were like, he was right there. We could have had closure. And the thing that stuck with me that Teresa told me was, I was scared if I were to pass away and not have these answers.
Yeah. Well, she'll be facing him in court soon, and hopefully they're looking to see if he was involved in any other cases every time he got released.
Well, Rose actually fears that there may be more victims out there. Wow. She says that she actually got a phone call from.
Speaking of victims, I've been looking at, I'm going to show you guys one thing before I play the next thing and then get out of here. Hold on a second. Hold on. All right, so let me change this here. So that's good news that they got that guy. Hold on a second here. So I've been looking into this guy here. This is something that I've been working on the last couple of months here. Yeah, I miss Dee Dee. I hope she's okay. We love Dee Dee here. The thing is like, you know, I come on here, I come on other people's channels and try to get along with everybody, but you know, it's no such thing as a fairy tale here. It's reality. I have no problem with people's opinions. I'll never have a problem with people's opinions. Everybody's got an opinion, you know, it's the way life is, right? Opinion's not the problem. It's, you know, it's the people that have problems with opinions, I think. I'll never block somebody for an opinion. Because let's face it, that's why we have brains, just so that we can think of our own things. And so I have no problem with that. I just have problems with people who, lash out and attack people for their opinions. I guess that's my thing. All right, so this is Jerry Burns here. This isn't Jerry Burns. This is one of his victims here, Michelle Martinko. And he was an Iowa guy that was convicted of a 1979 unaliving of this lady here. And he was, let's see here, he was arrested, and now he's serving a jail sentence. He was arrested in December 19, 2018, the 39th anniversary of the unaliving. So he was convicted of first-degree murder. So it took 2 years to convict him, and he's serving life without parole, pretty much. And I think no. Anyways, so the problem I have with this here is I wonder if this guy here, Jerry Burns, has anything to do with Evansdale. And I know it's a stretch. But when we go over the Evansdale case, I'm going to get a little bit more information here on this guy here. But they do have, I know that there are a few of the investigators that had him at least around the area at the time. So I'm going to be looking into that. Next few weeks or so here, but I did map out the area here, and I would not be surprised because she was 18. So it's something to think about anyways. All right, so let's move on to, hold on a second here. I want to do this too because thank God this guy died. About that fire. All right, yep. Hold on a second here. Yes, I'll play that too. This guy's thankfully dead here. This happened this week too. 3 days ago, Ralph Menzies dies of natural causes in a Utah hospital. He was just about to be put down anyways. But this guy here, condemned death row inmate Ralph Leroy Menzies, died Wednesday from natural causes. And this guy here was a bad dude.
Good evening, I'm Max Roth. We start tonight with breaking news in the case of Ralph Leroy Menzies. According to the Utah Department of Corrections, the 67-year-old convicted killer on death row died this afternoon before his potential execution. Fox 13 political reporter Ben Winslow is live from West Jordan, the courthouse there. And Ben, this news came suddenly this afternoon, not entirely unexpected, but boy, what a roller coaster this case has been.
Yeah, this is a sudden ending to a case that has taken decades to just get even to the point where Menzies was close to execution. Then he was not, while there was more competency evaluations. He had dementia, and a recent competency evaluation, yet another one that was issued here at the West Jordan courthouse, had found him incompetent to be executed. But the state was still planning to challenge that with hearings here in West Jordan. They were planning to pursue an execution. Still, I am told that Menzies was taken to a hospital this afternoon where he died from what the Utah Department of Corrections now says is natural causes at age 67. He was facing a firing squad execution for the 1986 kidnapping.
Are you taking off, Mustang? Good to see you. If you're taking off, Mustang's awesome. We like Mustang here. I have issue with people who overlook people being attacked. Yeah, if I go to a chat and I don't like the people in there, I'm not staying. Like I've done that before. I don't mind. I go into a lot of chats too sometimes. Like I'll sleeping with the enemy, right? Like I'll go into chat sometimes just to get information. and get out of there. I used to do that a lot with some of these other channels, especially covering the Delphi case, because the Delphi case is one of those, it's one of those cases where, once you get involved with it, there's just no way to get out of it. Like, and I'm done with Delphi. That Delphi is, but when I was, covering the Delphi case years and years ago, I get as much information as I possibly can, even from people who I didn't agree with. But that's the best thing you can do. But other times, like if I go into a chat and I'm not having a good time, I'm leaving. It's whatever. But I haven't had too many people that I've done that to. GH, I just won't go to GH's channel. And it's not because of him, it's just because that's not my cup of tea. But everybody here is awesome. So, yeah, I'm glad this guy's dead.
Kidnapping and murder of Maureen Hunsaker. Her son, Matt, spoke to me a short time ago.
It's a sense of relief, if you will. It's over. The chapter is closed. We knew as a family that this year, the 40th anniversary, there was going to be an end to all means, I guess you'd call it. We just didn't expect it this way. He got away with not being executed, but his life is over, and it's a chapter that we can close and move on now.
Now, Utah Attorney General Derek Brown,
it's always about the victims, in my opinion, the victims and the victims' families. I don't care anything about the person who's responsible. I mean, it's just the way I feel. I'm not a type of person that believes that everybody that's brought into prosecution to and brought to court is always 100% guilty. It's just what it is. But in my view, like, the only reason why I'm here in the first place in true crime, because true crime really sucks. It's very depressing, when you hear about death all the time and just horrific. The horrific things. Like, this is just every day. There's somebody else either being attacked, victimized, or it sucks. And it's not for everybody. But it's it's for the victims' families. And if I can do anything in my power to help, the OCD in me, I'm going to have to do something, because these people are going through horrific times. It just sucks. How can you not feel for these people? How can you not, as a human being, feel for these people? It's terrible. It's awful. They're going through hell, literally.
Was pushing for execution, issued a statement saying, quote, Maureen Hunsaker was a cherished wife and mother whose life was stolen in an act of horrific violence by Ralph Menzies. For decades, the state of Utah has pursued justice on her behalf. The path has been long and filled with pain, far more than any victim's family should ever have to endure. Now, as Ralph Menzies faces his final judgment, we hope this moment brings a measure of peace and closure to Maureen's family. Now, his lawyers also sent me a statement saying Ralph Menzies was deeply loved by his family, friends, legal team, and by...
Yeah, he's a dick. He unalived somebody. Nobody cares about him. Oh, good Lord. All right, so let's go to this here. We'll play this here, and then we'll get out of here. I wanted to do a couple more things when I'm running out of time here. But there's always next week. Yeah, I've been here 3 hours already. All right, so let's do this fire that Doms was thankful enough to send me this here. So this is a sad story here in Kenosha here. Let's see here. This was done a day ago. Kenosha firefighters say entire unit was engulfed when crews arrived. cause is under investigation. And this is going to be sad. This is going to be triggering. Sorry to play this here. Yeah, hold on one second. Let me open this up here. And this happened Thanksgiving night. When it comes to Delphi, I remember hearing about Delphi on the national. It was a national news story here. I think it was either the day after or forget when it was, because I remember I was out of work. I'd been laid off, and then I kind of, I mean, the thing about Delphi is I'm like, this is probably going to be solved in like 2 days, and then I stopped following it until the first 1-year press conference on the bridge. And when I saw the first press conference on the bridge, I'm like, they have no clue. This is going to be a really bad investigation. I mean, that 1-year anniversary press conference when they were on the trail for the 1-year anniversary, they looked depressed. They looked like they had no clue.
News tonight at 6. 3 young siblings are dead after a Thanksgiving apartment fire in Kenosha.
These poor kids. Oh my God. So this is in Wisconsin.
Firefighters responded overnight to the building near 43rd Avenue and 52nd Street. As 12 News' Emily Pofall reports, the unit was already engulfed in flames.
Late Thanksgiving night in Kenosha. An apartment near 43rd Avenue and 52nd
Like
Street.
everybody's worst nightmare, right? They still have no clue. What was I just going to say? It's everybody's worst nightmare, right? Is dying in a fire.
Up in flames.
By the time I got off the phone with the dispatcher, the apartment had gone up completely in flames.
The fire killed 3 children inside. Family identified them as 10-year-old Riley, 9-year-old Connor, and 7-year-old Elena. Medics rushed their father, Joshua Cannon, to the hospital for smoke inhalation. The children's grandmother says the 3 kids loved to draw and always wanted to help people.
All of our hearts are breaking knowing that kids were in there and we ourselves as civilians couldn't do anything.
Sad, especially when there's kids involved.
Friday afternoon, we can get a clearer picture of the damage. You can see that the fire torched both floors of the unit here.
That's absolutely horrible.
But we did talk to fire investigators who say that the fire didn't spread to the other units in the building. As the flames raged, others in the apartment complex ran door to door to evacuate the building.
I looked at my wife and I was like, the building's on fire. There's an apartment on fire. We need to get out. Like, we need to go help.
Neighbors say the building does have smoke detectors, though there's no guarantee the one inside the unit was on or working.
It's quite a big thing in this neighborhood. I question if there was any fire smoke alarms in the house.
The Kenosha Fire Department says they're still investigating the cause of the fire.
To the family, that we are terribly sorry for this happening, and you do have a giant community behind you.
In Kenosha, Emily Pofall, WIS.
Yeah, that's just horribly sad. We'll keep an eye on that though. Thank Dom for sending that. That's just absolutely horrible. It takes forever sometimes too with fire investigations here, but hopefully they get it right. I did want to play one more thing here on a happier note. Hold on one second. Let me find it. Because it really struck me as like there are good people in the world, right? All the bad people, there are some good. So let me play this here. Let's see here. So this case here, I came across the other day, and I thought I'd save it and play for everybody here. This woman here is a hero, by any stretch of the imagination. So this came out 5 days ago here. This school bus driver rescues a 4-year-old from Lake Owasso. Bus driver Mabel Kanye was finishing up her route in which she spotted the young boy running down the hill toward the water. And this is something that most people probably wouldn't do, but only heroes do. So here we go.
Incredible story, a local school bus driver being hailed a hero for running into a lake to save a preschooler, even though she herself didn't know how to swim. Rai Katene has the story.
As heavy clouds hover over Lake Owasso,
Yes.
Ramsey County Sergeant Matt Marson remembers the storm of chaos that unraveled here just a few days prior.
It's actually right there in the water, is what I've been told.
He's one of 3 deputies who responded to the call Thursday afternoon. The aunt of a 4-year-old called 911 saying her nephew had taken off running and was nowhere to be found.
I see this little guy coming, running down the street.
Until he was spotted by school bus driver Mabel Kanye.
From up the hill, he was crying.
Mabel was finishing up her route near the intersection of Chandler and Owasso Boulevard when she saw the young boy running straight toward the water.
So when the kid went to the fence and touched the gates, they just opened. That moment, my heart skipped.
In that moment, she knew she had to help, running after him after securing her bus.
The spot where he stepped, it was deep. So he just started struggling in there, and, you know, I've never swum in my entire life. I get goosebumps just looking at the water. I'm so afraid of water, but that day I was determined to do anything possible to save that kid.
The key thing,
The sad thing is that most people wouldn't do anything. That's the sad thing. But it also takes somebody with no fear for themselves, right? No fear for their own life and their own well-being to save somebody else. Like, there isn't a lot of people out there that are like that, but I saw this story the other day and I thought I'd share it. Pretty cool. Thank you, Dom.
she was integral in saving a child's life. Yeah.
If Mabel had
Yeah, the kid wouldn't have lived. There's nobody there. I mean, who's going to be there? She just happened to be in the right place at the right time.
hadn't jumped in to rescue the boy, Sergeant Morrison says the outcome would have been a tragedy.
That child would have been probably dead in that water. The child was soaking wet, clearly nonverbal, possibly special needs. The bus driver is a hero.
A superhero.
Oh my goodness, this is so heartwarming.
According to the kids Mabel sees every day.
We need to live in a society whereby we care for one another.
But to Mabel,
oh my God,
it's simply being human. Rai Katene, Care 11 News.
Have a great night. Paula, it's always good to see you here. Thank you for the info that you sent to me. I always thank people for sending me information. That's awesome. But I just wanted to play this story here because it's...
We're happy to tell you the young boy is doing okay, and the sheriff's office tells us Mabel will be officially recognized with a life-saving award.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm pretty sure, though, she's not looking for fame and fortune. It's just something that people do, you know. I always go back to the people who... You know, I remember the San Francisco earthquake years back. I think that actually happened during a Monday night football game. Or was that a baseball game? I forget now. But there's people that went into those collapsed bridges to try to pull people out of cars, man. I don't know if I had been able to do that. That's, you know, like that was the World Series. That's right. But anyways, just thought I'd play it. It's always, you know, bad news in true crime, right? But sometimes cases like this here. All right, I'm going to get the hell out of here. I hope everybody has a good night. Doms, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Free Peach, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate that. That game saved a lot of people. It sure did. Let's see. Big Fish, thank you so much for coming in. Big Fish is awesome. I'll make sure to subscribe to your I gotta figure out my Discord thing your Discord channel. Fur Baby Daddy, it's always good to see you. Always good to see Fur Baby in here. Appreciate you coming in. There's no doubt I'm going to miss people tonight. I apologize for that. Paula, you're amazing. Thank you so much for everything that you do for me, sending me stuff. Check out Paula. She's great. She does great stuff too. I know Mino Dino was in here. Thank you, Mino Dino. I hope Heather's okay. Heavy, I mean, I also hope that Dee Dee's okay. I know Shibby's awesome. Shibby's got a great channel. Shibby's always welcome in here. Shibby's great, period. Mustang, thank you so much for coming in. There was a lot of new people in here, and I really appreciate that. Hope I wasn't boring. I know that Daisy Asks was in here. Amy G. Amy G is freaking amazing. Peggy O is amazing too. I always forget to mention Peggy O. Let's see here. Let's see. If I forget people, I'm sorry. I know Gretchen was in here. I know Tracy was in here. Tracy is amazing. I know Latoya was in here. I hope she gets her drink back. Let's see here. My Heather was in here. It's good to see Heather. She just can't sleep. Let's see here. Let's see. Miranda Lee was in it. Miranda Lee is amazing. Miranda Lee is always welcome in here. We love Miranda Lee. She's been here forever. Who am I forgetting? Forgetting a whole bunch of people. And all the people that watch on replay, too. I really appreciate that. Low Light Recovery was in here. V was in here. V's amazing. Thank you for the information on the California case there. Farmer was in here. Derek Farmer is awesome. He's got a great channel. Forgetting people. I know I am. Whoops. Dude, the thing is when I get down to the bottom here, I can't always scroll all the way up to the top. Let's see here. Love and Light for All was here. Thank you very much for coming in. Somebody was talking about Wayne Newton. Is he still alive, or is he? Wayne Newton's dead, right? All right. So if I forgot you, I'm sorry. I always forget somebody. Sweet Dude Chippy's right there. Great channel. Feel free to go over there and sub to him. And Southern Gal, of course, is awesome. She's probably tired tonight, so she probably didn't make it in here. Ingo Humperdinck too. Yes, absolutely. He's alive. Wayne Newton's alive? No. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. You guys are awesome. Let's just stop sharing that there, and I'll play my outro, and I'll get out of here. Whatever you guys do, don't die. I'll see you guys next weekend. What am I doing? All right, I'm out of here. See you guys later. Have a great week. Stay safe, like I said. Right there. We'll play this one and get out of here, I think. Nope. Right here. Yeah, we'll be with you. All right, see you guys later.
Bye.